need to hear this, but let me put this out here. Stop sparing folks. Hello, somebody. Stop sparing folks. Nobody cared when your feelings was hurt. Nobody cared when you was pacing the floor. Nobody cared when you was sliding down the wall. Nobody cared when you was standing over there with a face full of tears. You had to suck it up, buttercup. But then when it come to other folk feelings, here you are, want to tiptoe around it, want to avoid the elephant in the room. I don't want to upset anybody. I don't want to disturb the peace. Stop sparing folk. Ain't nobody spare you when it was your turn. Give it to them real. Give it to them raw. Give it to them uncut and uncensored. This is exactly what it is. This way you had me messed up at. Yeah. I ain't playing with nobody this season, baby.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Good morning, good people on YouTube. I am dressed, believe it or not. We're coming bedside, And here's the reason. I was set up in the office, but I packed up. So I can't even hook my second screen to the computer. So I figured, well, if I can't hook the second screen to the computer, why be in an uncomfortable chair for 2 hours when I can be here comfortable, right? It's Monday morning. Good morning, everyone. If you guys have been paying attention to my videos, you will know I'm leaving. I am going to Pennsylvania, and we're covering the Morgan Daub case. Kind of crazy because I did a video on her and didn't say anything I don't normally say on YouTube, and it got hit with adult content. So now you have to be 18 years or older to watch that content. YouTube is getting ridiculous. It's absolutely getting ridiculous. I have to be honest with you. But either way, it is what it is. I appealed it. With all the new changes going on YouTube, who knows? But it was really just to gauge the audience because, the videos don't really perform as well as my lives. So if it's doing well, on a video, then I know that it'll do well if I'm going to take the time to go out there. And this is a really strange case. And it's got me, and some people, I think, took offense when I said she looks like she's got an Adam's apple. I'm not, if you guys know, I those things don't bother me. I mean, they bother a few people. But for me, what you do with yourself, I'm a liberty person. What you do in your own time with your own body and all this other stuff is your business. If you're not killing someone or something, I'm fine with it. I personally, I really could care less. I think people, if that wasn't the point. The point was she was such a young girl. And if she's 26 years old. And if something happened, it probably happened under the age of 18. And could that have potentially, done something to her psychologically? And it's just, a lot of young kids that decide to do things like that, don't realize the repercussions. And who knows? She may have been born a female. I don't know. I personally don't. Some people were talking about thyroid. She may have had a thyroid problem. So there's a lot of, speculation as to that, but I can tell you that she seemed to be very disturbed. She didn't seem like she has a whole, she seems very disturbed. And if the allegations are true, where her mom, dad, and her had this pact, the whole family would be, in my opinion, problematic. How did we get here? I mean, the mom and dad, 59, 61. I mean, who makes a pact like that? This whole thing is just very, very bizarre to me. But before we get too far into it, I want to say good morning as always. Hi! Happy Monday, everyone. So Patricia Miller, the first to say good morning to Bullhorn Betty in chat. Nice to see you. ZA. Silly chick. I like that. Rick's Click here. Like number 9. Good morning. Well, thank you. Thank you. Steffers is in the house. I heard I was booted from Turtle Island. I wake up this morning. I guess my phone, I don't mind getting calls. It's just that this Apple phone, it has a sleep mode. And so I set it for 10, even though I was getting called at 11:45 in the morning. Or at night, I would have answered if the phone rang. I would have answered. And I'm sure he's wanting to get a comment on me for leaving Turtle Island. And I really don't have a comment. It was fun. It was, I lasted a lot longer. I'm a controversial person on YouTube. And, thanks for all the love. I mean, damn, I was in the top 4. Who knew, right? Who knew? So, even if it was a top 6, I don't remember top 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. But, we had a lot of great people that were, in all fairness, probably gone before me and probably shouldn't have been. So it doesn't really matter. At some point, we have to go. But I'm still going to hold Dolly Vision. You can tell him this. I'm still holding him to my bedazzled Bullhorn. We've heard him talk about it for at least 3 solid months. I'm going to hold his feet to the fire. I may not get the champion band belt for Turtle Island, but I'm getting my bedazzled bullhorn that was promised to me. And I want every one of you to remind Dolly, I expect payment soon. Right? So it was fun while it lasted. Turtle Island, the cases kind of got carried away. It was a real fun game when it started and everything. And as we dwindled down to the final people, it just seemed to start tracking out a little bit. And I would have been there had I known that Turtle Island was going on. I would have liked to have been a part of that, so I could have at least give my cry and my bow out in person. But hey, it is what it is. So hopefully people didn't beat up on me too much, but they probably did. I who knows? I don't care. Mama Llama, it's nice to see you. Rudy Joy, nice to see you. Sharon, nice to see you. Phoenix Rising. Raquel, hopefully I'm not butchering your name. Patty, Belinda says good morning and puts a lot of nice little heart-shaped faces up. Nice to see you. Good morning. Good morning, Nani. Just an old lady, as we all are. I woke up, I'm starting to realize I'm getting some wrinkles, and I've been taking care and doing stuff to my face and doing hydrochloric acid and, number 7 moisturizer, just trying to take care of the skin. Well, you know what? I keep forgetting about the neck and the chest. I think my chest is starting to age a little more than my face, and I ain't liking it. I got a wrinkle. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Got a wrinkle. That's a problem for me. Do they Botox chests? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I've never Botoxed in my life. Thank you, Amy. Amy N. Nice to see you. I thought you were going to PA today. I am. I'm jumping on a flight and I will be out of here. But and I'm going to try to run some portion of the Murdaugh trial. I think once my internet connection dies, so does the live. And I will be on a plane. I'll probably, when I have one stop, because this was kind of last minute, I wasn't going to leave at all. It was going to be, I wasn't planning on going anywhere until I went to Tennessee. But I got a call, right? So when you get a call, and I got a call from Marissa, and she said, hey, there's this weird case out here, and we need to do some fact finding on this odd, bizarre stuff. They're not going to be doing autopsies. There's communications that they had this planned. And it's like, I'd like to know what those communications are. They're gone anyways. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But I'd still like to get some information. When you hear bizarre cases like this, it makes you wonder what happened. We want to prevent something like this from happening in the future. I mean, this is a mom, dad, and a kid. Like, mom and dad should have been the ones saying, hey, maybe we need to go to counseling. Maybe we need to, just something. But to just fold, I don't get it. How can 3 people be so miserable that they just don't want to exist anymore? It's a tough pill to swallow. It's something I can't quite wrap my head around. Yvonne, Sunshine Jennings, nice to see you. Stephanie, Peaches, Net, Jennifer, hope everything's going well. Heading to work, listening from the car. Nice. We'll take that. Just Samantha, ZZT, Emma, Anita, Colleen, Melody, Sue, sweet as sugar. I am too, sometimes, but don't tell anybody. I have a reputation to uphold over here. And we wouldn't want people to know that I can be nice, right? We have a reputation. Brandy, Buffalo Mountain, Tennessee girl. I will be seeing you soon. I'll be in Tennessee. So I don't know what my schedule is going to be like. It's getting a little crazy, as you can imagine. But this is something that I don't know. When I called Marissa, when we were at Quentin Simon, she had literally zero hesitation on getting down to Georgia. Zero hesitation, went right straight down there. She calls me and says, hey, I need you here. I say, okay, on the way. So ticket booked. I will be flying in. She will be picking me up. And oh crap, right? Bullhorn Betty and Molly Go Lightly. This should make YouTube, like, you know, I can't wait to see the comments, the thumbnails. I can't wait to see the flames coming out of my eyes, nose, and mouth. Because, you know, don't you know, according to them, because I guess God's the devil. So, you know, doing God's work is doing the devil's work to them. I don't get it. But hey, whatever. They're not gonna give too many qualms about that, right? Simple Sue, love that. Mary Jane, Dottie, me, Marie, nice to see you. Teresa, Nana of 7, Caitlin. Did I say Dottie? Yes, I did say Dottie. Okay. Angie Lee, CJ, Abby, Karen Davis. Nice to see you, honey bunny. Merja, Boucher Street. Is it Boucher? Did I have that right? Hopefully I got that right. Caitlin says, my coffee maker just broke. I can't DoorDash because they don't take cash. I'm heartbroken. Well, here, let me make you jealous, but I'm doing this out of love. I promise I'm doing this out of love. Don't kill me, Caitlin. I'm just joking. Don't kill me. Candy Apple, Vape King, Barbara. It's nice to see you guys all here, Nikki. Betty, I want to hear more about you, what you really think about the Morgan Daub story. Yeah, we're going to go into that a little bit. Courtney, good morning, BHB. Also, so another thing I was thinking when she was talking, that it's a religious thing. She was talking about someone about the Antichrist and the throne of the UK. But somebody made a comment in the chat and said, she kept talking about, she won't be queen. And I didn't think, the subliminal messaging there, because again, like I said, I thought it was just noticeable. I mean, literally the first thing when she started talking, it was bobbing up and down as she was talking. And I'm like, I kept putting my neck back and trying to get her angle and everything like that. And I couldn't. And I'm like, I don't have an Adam's apple. And I've always heard that boys have that protruding Adam's apple. And I just thought, maybe there's something else there. And when I was reading the article, they were talking about her having the mock, accent and stuff. Like, it's weird. Yes, I'm going to see Marissa. She will be picking me up from the airport. Sabrina, morning, beautiful lady. Enjoy your day. Snow day off work here in Missouri. Work for the school district. It's nasty, icy out. Ugh. That's the way it was the first time I went to Idaho on this Idaho 4. When we got there, it was a slushy, icy mess. And I'm a Florida girl. I can't believe I remembered. I don't drive in the snow. I don't drive in ice. I don't drive in slush. And I, believe it or not, remembered my driving class. So see, when I went to school, our driving class was taught by the school. You could take that as an elective. And get your hours, your driving hours in and stuff like that. This day and age, apparently parents have to pay for student driver classes and stuff. It's like weird. It's like, I don't get it. Like, but anyways, they say it's a liability issue because I guess a couple kids have gotten in wrecks, throughout the country, or who knows. I mean, it's part of life. There are some risks when you have a whole bunch of students in any school, period. There's risks. You're not going to absolve yourself of all risk when you're a school. Get you a rental car, girl. LOL. No, we won't need a rental car. She's got 2 cars there. So if there is something that I need to go do or take care of, I will be able to do that. So it's not really, it's not really a big deal. I was going to get a car, but she's like, oh no, she's got cars there. So no, never again. Never, ever, ever again. I would literally pay $1,000 never to fly on Spirit. If I went on there and my ticket was $1,000, I would definitely have done that. But to be honest with you, my ticket was $600 for last minute ticket. I thought that was a pretty good deal. Marissa's hair stood up on the back of her neck. She's like, $600. I'm like, yeah. She's like, but Allegiant has a direct flight. I'm like, well, I'm leaving last minute and there was no Allegiant flight. So I had to get one of the, and I like Allegiant as well. So that would be one of the ones that I would never do Frontier or Spirit. I don't care how enticing that price is. It's not worth the headache. Trust me. The last 3 times I've used Spirit, I ended up having to pay $100 because I got there an hour and 15 minutes before the flight was leaving, and they refused to even let me go through security because I wasn't there 2 hours early and I had to get another flight. An hour and 15 minutes early. We would have made it through TSA. Would have. Hands down, would have made it through TSA. They screwed me there. I swore I'd never use them again. Then one of them, what was the other one? I can't remember. There's something else that happened. I think we were on the flight. They couldn't get the air conditioning working. After sitting on the flight for an hour, they finally unboard us. We were like 2 or 3 hours late. I missed the other flight because of it. And then this last one, they canceled the flight. I was just on the phone with them the night before because I was actually trying to get a way to, adjust my ticket so I could go from Las Vegas, fly in from Idaho to Las Vegas and our stuff from Las Vegas over, I wanted to get off the plane and go, instead of going to Florida with Olivia, I wanted to go to Pennsylvania. And they couldn't do it, but I was just on the phone with them for like an hour and a half the night before they canceled my flight. And when I was in Vegas waiting for our layover, we find out our flight, it was Seattle. It was our flight to Vegas was on Spirit, and a different flight from Spirit from Vegas to Florida. And we were in Seattle and they just canceled the flight. No reason for canceling the flight whatsoever, just canceled it. And it cost us over $1,000 or close to $1,000 to get back. And the third-party employees that they have in Seattle for Delta were rude. And probably Delta will never get another penny from me either, even though they're a great airline, because of the way I was treated by their third-party staff. These weren't even airline employees. This was a third party that Delta hired on their behalf. And I'm sorry, you're just as responsible as the people you hired. And when I feel screwed, I'm done. So I'm limiting myself on the airlines. I'm starting to become bougie with my airlines. If I'm not treated well, you're not getting my damn business. I would rather drive 27 hours and stay in a hotel in between than fly on a flight, period. I really would. And if I had time or I thought about it, I should have just gotten in the car, loaded it up yesterday, and started going to Pennsylvania, because I don't have a problem driving. I actually like it. I enjoy it. It clears my head. It lets me lets me think. It gives me a lot of quiet. I don't really listen to my radio, so I get a lot of thought. I get to think. I get to strategize in my brain. I get a lot. I'm very productive when I'm driving, so I don't mind it. But in this case, it was like, the headache, the driving, getting here, getting back. I need to be back at a certain time because you guys know I've got to head to Tennessee. I'm waiting for the attorneys to write me back now so I can get a date and a time. And then I'll be heading to Tennessee. And then I've been trying to get a hold of, well, we'll leave it at that. I got to be careful. Sometimes I say entirely too much. So, hey, Faye. Nice to see you. York is close to Kensington. Want your mind-blown drive through Zombie Land. That's interesting. Is that like a park, or is that just a name of an area? I'm interested, just Samantha. You're intriguing. You're perking my curiosity. Good morning, Nikki. Nice to see you. Courtney says, good morning, Bullhorn. Love that you get up so early. Yes. Suspicious crime. Nice to see you as well. Yeah, we have a pretty good morning crew here. I like the mornings because, well, I'm finally back to my regular schedule, where I'm sleeping at like 8:30 at night, getting up at, at dark, watching the sun rise, we used to do this all the time, but for whatever reason, with the schedule and the travel, which it's going to get sketchy every now and again, but if we can keep it normal and on time, 6:30 in the morning, 6 to 7:30 in the morning, I'm good with that. I have an Adam's apple. It's normal. Well, even not, they said that the woman's Adam apple does not grow. And if you're having a knot that, I don't know. I don't have one. I'm sure I have one, but I don't have one that it protrudes. But I'm not a thin person either. I'm a little fluffy, right? I'm a little fluffy. So, I don't know. And somebody was saying that if it's protruding too much, you might want to go and have the doctor look at your thyroid. I don't know. It wasn't to be insulting in any way whatsoever. It was just, it was just an observation that I noticed immediately and thought that, it kind of fits a little bit, with this case, because this person seemed to be very disturbed. And with the age and stuff, I just wonder, was she a guinea pig at a young age? It's just something. It's like, again, not to be insulting. It's just trying to find out, what's really going on behind the curtain. I mean, this case kind of came out of nowhere. And not only that, but with the video that she put out, why did anybody call? We always talk about if you see something, say something. That means even people you don't know. So I'm not saying anybody on this channel or this platform even saw the video prior to, but somebody had to have. And it just makes me wonder, why didn't anybody call in and say, hey, this person seems really disturbed and it's very concerning for me. And she appears to need some help. I mean, if I would have seen that video, I think I would have picked up the phone and made the call personally, because something wasn't right with her then. I listened to the video. It was odd, to say the least. Courtney says, let's see what Courtney says. She says, she was like, I don't want to be queen because I'm a soldier for God. And that seems to think she meant to be queen. I have an Adam's apple, though I'm female. It's not huge, but it's there. Hers wasn't really huge either, but just noticeable. And somebody even said that it was because she has such a long neck. And somebody said that was too low for her Adam's apple and believes it was her, what did I just say? Oh, crap. I can't remember. But, the thyroid. So I don't know much about thyroid stuff either. I know my mom's got some thyroidic issues, and some gallbladder stuff, but I don't understand it, I guess. Betty, swing down to Maryland while you're in PA. It's a short drive from me. We can go to lunch. Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah, I'm on a time crunch and I don't have my own car. Well, we'll see. We'll see how the day goes. I mean, we've got, I've already talked to Marissa. We've already got a lot of ideas and stuff like that. But if I can swing it, absolutely. I love meeting people. I love meeting my audience and my fans. It's going to be in the 10th. It's going to be in the 10th today. Lots of snow. Ugh. I am not a cold person. Like, I'd rather be in the cold weather. I'll be honest with you. I'd rather be in the cold weather than in hot weather. Because at the end of the day, we can layer clothes, right? I mean, we can get ourselves and our bodies warm. You can only take so much off, right? When it's hot, it's hot. And so I would much rather be in freezing cold weather and bundled up nice, snuggly, and warm than be in the heat. Like Gabby Petito, when we were out there, I was dying. I was dying. I was drenched literally all day. At some days I'd bring a changing of clothes because I'd get so freaking hot. I'd have to go up to the convenience store and, rotate some undergarments out and stuff like that. So it's one of those, I don't like, I'm in Florida, which is probably one of the hottest places in the world. I mean, outside of like Arizona and Texas, but their heats get really hot, but they're dry heat. It's not as humid. So like 70 degrees here feels like 90 degrees on a humid day. And a 90 degrees, oh my God. If you have a hot, humid day, it's miserable. It's absolutely miserable. I do not envy the yard caretakers, your yard maintenance people. Yes, ma'am. Ma? Hello?
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
what's up?
are you live?
Yeah, I thought you were in my chat.
Oh, I am.
Oh,
You want me to bring your stuff that I made for you?
actually, she said it's not too bad. She said I just need a light coat.
Okay. All right.
I'll get because I still want to take you. I was supposed to take you out to lunch today, and I'm not going to be able to. So I still want to take you out to lunch, and it'll force you to have to come this way.
Oh, okay. You flying out of Sarasota or Tampa?
No, Sarasota. I'm just going to take an Uber.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Stalker, I love you.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to come, and I'll take you out to lunch before we go.
Nah.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm just going to take an Uber. I mean, it's only going to cost a few bucks. It's right.
Okay.
It's right around the corner. I love you too. Bye. Mama Bullhorn always checking up on her baby girl. Okay, what do we got? Mab, nice to see you. I hope everybody's doing well today. So, just getting back to that case, it was just a bizarre, a really bizarre case. And I'm curious, and now that we got the phone lines working, I'm going to open the phone lines. We got a new phone line number because I guess I could have, if I looked at hard enough, I could have probably transferred that one number over. But, at the end of the day, why? There's not really a reason to transfer that over. I had driver's education in high school. We had to be able to show we can drive in winter conditions to pass the class. Well, in Florida, there's no winter conditions. I mean, even the parking up and down hills that you're supposed to know, we never had really any hills to do. So we had a mock hill. We had a mock hill that we had to act like we were parked on. But I remember it was kind of crazy because I do remember the education that I had. I remember, but it had to go through my head over and over and over again. So the whole time I'm driving, I'm not even thinking of cases. I'm not thinking of anything. I'm just thinking, if the car slides this way, let off the brake, turn into the slide until you get your car under control. Like I'm just constantly telling myself this the first time I went to Idaho. And there was only one time that the brakes were so frozen, I kind of slid through a stop sign, but it was on a desolate road. Nobody was coming. And I ended up just making a right-hand turn. I didn't stop at the stop sign because the car was just going right through it. So it was going through it slow. So I just did a right-hand turn and, just went up a little bit, did a little, double back. And that was good. I mean, outside of that one time, I'm an ice driver now. I am now a seasoned snow slush ice driver from Florida. Who knew, right? Who knew? I was wondering if she was Amish or something. Somebody else said that in the chat too, and it makes me wonder. I don't know, but she did talk about they're not getting the basic human essentials or human life essentials or whatever she implied. And I'm thinking, are they having financial problems? Like what in 2023 do you not have? I literally don't get it. Like, what in 2023 do we not have? I mean, we don't have our wants. I mean, I get that, but I'm not seeing, unless intentional, I'm not seeing people really going without. I mean, even people that don't have food, which I don't understand, because we have a very, you know, just hand out, you can just apply for food stamps and get food stamps. So I don't understand why people are going hungry in this country. But then if you, maybe it's, people have felonies, maybe they're not eligible for food stamps, which I don't understand why anybody, if they're hungry in this country, should not get food. I mean, we are the United States of America, for the love of God, right? There should be nobody going hungry in this country, period. We have the most food of any other country in the world. I mean, look at everybody. I mean, we're exploding. Our bodies are literally exploding. We're all getting heavy. That should tell you we have plenty of food in this country. And, but if they can't get food stamps, or it's not enough, I mean, there are literally every single community I go to, I have not seen where a church does not provide some kind of nutrients for underserved, underprivileged families. So I'm not sure what essential human needs are not being met. And it seemed like that was what she was, speaking about. There are some people that have that, but you know what? I can be honest with you. I flew with Spirit several times before and never had a problem. In all honesty, Caitlin, I have. And that's why I used them, because I thought the one time was a fluke, but then it was the second time. Now it's the third time. And the third time cost me more than my round trip ticket to go out there for a one-way trip home, because they left me stranded. And that only needs to happen to me one time before I say never again, ever, ever, ever again. And what also ticks me off is their elevated checked bag prices. Their checked bag prices are like $70. The checked bag prices that I have for any other airline is $30. So and they force you to pay for a seat, especially with two people. If I order a ticket through another airline, they'll say, "Do you want a seat?" And I don't select it, but they somehow always seem to put me at least next to the person I ordered my ticket with, if it's on the same order form, if I have two tickets instead of one. So it's like, I don't like them. I don't like the games they play on there. And then they also want to charge now for carry-on. You can have one item. That's it. If you have a carry-on, you have to pay it. If you have a checked bag, you have to pay it. Like, I'm over Spirit Airline. It's just, it's a gimmick. By the time, and like literally, and not only that, but they're the cheapest. Like the seats are cheap. The planes aren't necessarily clean. It's just, they charge you out the butt for literally every single thing. You're on a different airline, you get a complimentary beverage. Depending on how long your flight is, you get several complimentary beverages. You have to pay literally everything. By the time you pay, you add up your seat, you add up your carry-on, you add up your checked bag, you're paying as much as an airline that includes all that. I mean, it's the same, but you know what? I'm sorry, United, Delta, American Airlines. So far, I haven't had any cancellations. I haven't been charged any fees, even when I've missed my plane. American Airline got me right on the next plane. No extra fees, no nothing. But what they do, it's a gimmick. They reduce their airline fee so they can be the top tier when you're searching for airlines as the cheapest. But once you add everything in, they're usually a few dollars more than, say, American Airlines. And American Airlines, to me, I love their service. So I don't know. That's just a tangent. I'm just going to denounce Frontier. I'm going to denounce Spirit Airlines. They both have done me terribly wrong over the last year on multiple occasions. And I just don't like flying with them. And not only that, but I mean, their planes are breaking down. They're not breaking down. I guess they are, because the air conditioning is not, they always seem to have air conditioning problems. That's a problem. Like, and then to make the people sit on that plane for a solid hour sweating their butts off, like you couldn't even unboard them and let them sit in the cool while you try to figure out whether the air conditioning is going to come on or not. You just make them sit there in the heat, sweating. Like, seriously, that's not customer service to me. Anybody that's going to do that to their customers, I don't want anything to do with them. So Kensington is extremely scary, full of addicts. People get high on every corner, set up their tents, tons of homelessness. Wow. She didn't appear to be, at least for me, she didn't appear to be on drugs, but you know what? You don't know. You never know. You never know. Some of the people can look absolutely normal and be just out there. I love my music being annoying. I'm not judging any addict either. My comments may have came across wrong. I don't think so. No, we don't judge. I mean, yeah, I get what you mean. I wouldn't be too concerned. I think everybody does. I'm here. My head is pounding. Oh, Ruby, maybe I shouldn't laugh so hard. I'm just joking. So let me get through some of these other things. Sorry, I kind of went on a tangent. I know we're going to be talking about, let's see what this is. I know we're going to be talking about Bryan Kohberger here in just a little bit, but we'll get just dive in a little bit on the Morgan Daub case because it is weird. It is very weird. So Courtney says, Alicia, my thyroid is fine, but I'm slender and also a singer. Hell, mine could be from being choked and in a toxic relationship, but definitely I have one. I think Morgan is female. That's just my opinion. Yeah, it very well may be, but there's definitely something going on there. Like I said, it was just an observation I noticed. Oh, Robert's girl, it's nice to see you. Sorry I haven't been around. I've been sick. Lost my eyeglasses. Can't see comments. Too good getting new eyeglasses today. Miss y'all. Oh, I hate that. That is the worst. I remember it was funny because my mom, she had, I don't remember what she did, Ma. I really don't. But she had to, was it her or was it Miss Laura? Maybe it was Miss Laura. I can't remember. One of them had broke glasses, and so they grabbed her old glasses, but apparently their eyes changed the opposite way. And so when they put the old glasses on, they could barely see. Instead of it just being off a little bit, it was off a lot. So, but hey, I don't know. I probably need glasses. I was actually just talking to my neighbor about the fact that I need glasses. That I went I think it was right when I turned 43, about 4 months after I turned 43. So no, can't be. I just turned 43. Maybe it was, I don't know. Just recently I was reading a menu and I'm like, these words are starting to blur. Like it kind of freaked me out a little bit. I've never had vision issues ever. And the glasses I do wear that I have worn, especially when I was at, they just gave them to me for readers. I'm not required to wear them all the time because I don't have vision problems. The only reason why I have those glasses is because I was staring at a computer for 8 to 10 hours a day and I was getting massive headaches. And so my glasses have a film to filter out the blue, which they said is usually is what causes the headaches. So I spent $300 or $400 on a pair of glasses I really didn't need just so I could quit having headaches while I was at work. And I still use them every now and again when I know I'm working on the computer for a significant amount of time. But it also might be because I'm using my phone more and I'm not realizing that print's smaller. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. I really don't. The driving classes here don't require parallel parking to get your permit anymore, which I think is wild. But we had a parallel park, and thank God for that because I still parallel park to this day. Except I'm more of a pro now, and I don't need a button on my car to parallel park my car. I know some people need that. Okay, I get it. I'm sorry, but I'm not paying an extra $1,500 to push a button to parallel park. I'll do it myself. Thank you. joking. Oh, Lord. Okay, let me get down to the bottom. I'm really far behind in the chat. Oh, Lord. So Shannon says, yes, I didn't have to wear glasses until I was older, started at staring at the screen, phone, the computer, etc. will make your eyes worse. Yes. At a change setting taking place in my late 40s. I know, that's what my neighbor started laughing at me. He's like, you're only 43. He's like, I didn't have to put glasses on until I was 53. I'm like, well, that's just great, Glenn. I'm glad you didn't have to wait. You had to wait until you're 53. Okay. My eyes, all I know is my eyes are changing. I don't know why. I don't like it. I don't like change. So, and it's not too bad. Like, I can read the print on here. So it could have just been the print. And it could have just been blurry print on that particular thing that I thought was, that I thought was my eyes. It might not have been. I don't know. I took mine at 16. I don't remember when I think I took my, in Florida, when I was in school, you could get your permit at 15 and you could drive at 16. I could tell you when I got my driver's license, and it was my 17th birthday. My mom and dad bought me this car and had it painted an electric metallic blue. I was so happy. They do know now that I actually snuck out in the car a couple times because I knew I was getting it. And so I just found the keys and took it for a spin around the block. Not too major, I didn't go partying in it or nothing like that. I just wanted to drive it, So I'd sneak out, and we had like this Shaw's Point. It was like a water area that you could go out and sit. You couldn't really drive out there, but they had like a cul-de-sac that you could park in and walk out. I never really parked. I just drove down there, did the loop, and went back to the house and made sure I parked it right in the same spot that it was at before, so they wouldn't know. And that car, and I think that's probably why they raised the driving fee, because I totaled that car out literally 2 months to the day. I got it on September 17th. I had it totaled by November 17th. I'm sure my parents were very pleased with me. Miss Lee, it happened to me after, I think, my third. Okay, I've had glasses since middle school, but they got significantly worse after having 3 pregnancies. Oh, see, I don't know about the pregnancies. I just know about the age. And like, right, see that? I got a wrinkle right there. You see that on my chest? Did they do Botox on the chest? I need to get this wrinkle gone. Oh, Lord. Anyways, but getting back to it. So I'm going to open the phone lines up just a little bit. Well, actually, for those that haven't watched the video, let me put the video up first. Hold on just a second. Let me find so we'll just watch a little bit of this. I'm going to go to the part where she talks. I'm not so much about this because we've already talked enough. I think that everybody is understanding what happened. So I'm just going to play this one little clip again, not the whole thing. Let's see if I can pull this in on this side now. Present. Screen. There we go. All right. Bring this on. All right, there we go. So we're just going to go here. You got to be 18. I understand. Because the topic can say, like, you shouldn't, having the conversation should not warrant the self-harm topic. Here I am covering. It's just, it's a little, just too much. Like, seriously, it's just a little too much. Okay, so here is the girl and her weird antics.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I thought I should use this accent, really. Hello, everyone. Morgan Elizabeth Daub here. United States of America. I hope this travels the world. I really do. Oh, hey, the privacy being installed.
I don't know. That's
rocks the world today. So, please do Please do send it out. Please do. Finally God showed me the reason why. Game over, devil.
Game over, though.
7 times 70, please. Harder. Please. I, Morgan Elizabeth Daub, York, Pennsylvania, United States of America, do hereby abdicate the throne of the United Kingdom, along with all the rights, privileges, etc.
Now, let me just ask you guys. Let me just stop this here. Let me just ask you guys this. Do you believe her parents would have participated in this? It just, I'm trying to get over to the chat because the way this thing is, give me just a second. I got to adjust some things here. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to. So she is the gal that I'm talking. Lord have mercy. Give me just a second. There we go. Now I think I can do both of them. Now I can see both screens. So she is Morgan Elizabeth Daub. She is obviously a very disturbed person. People I just don't understand. Do you guys, let me ask you this. Do you guys think her family helped her promote this or put this stuff in her head? Because I don't get why she thinks she's next in line to be the queen of England? Like she's next to the throne of England? Is this something that her parents told her? I mean, where did all this come from? It's very, very concerning for me, especially hearing the details that law enforcement has released. And it's making me wonder, did her entire family have mental illness? What was going on in this family that made them ultimately make this kind of decision? It's just, she's in a fairy tale world. Yeah.
Appertaining thereunto. Today is November 26, 2022. For all intents and purposes, I have formally abdicated. I refuse to be queen. I will not be crowned.
And see, this whole stuff with the queen and stuff like that, it makes me, I don't know. It just seems subliminal to me. And some other people, I didn't think of it like that, but I did read the comments that everybody was writing on the video that I did. I don't believe the parents. Yeah, Mary, it seems like, as a parent, you would be saying, maybe you're going a little too far. Maybe we need to go seek some help. She has apparently been hanging out with Tequila. She talks this kind of weird stuff too. Yes. And I don't know. It's odd. It's just odd behavior. Anyways, guys, I don't want to play it too much on here. If you guys want to watch a little more about this, she says a lot of weird stuff in this video. In this video, my understanding, now I could be wrong about this. Don't hold my feet to the fire. But I hear that this video here was published like 8 days or so before this tragic event occurred. And it makes me wonder why nobody, because I'm seeing a girl here that's, for all intents and purposes, seems to be begging for help. She's going to the world. And I don't understand why. And then she's bringing up this throne and saying things of, she doesn't want to be crowned. And the reason why she is so, I can't remember the word she used, that stuff will be coming out as to why she is such a threat to the crown and to England. And it's just, to me, weird. It's just, this whole case is just weird. And it sparks my curiosity as to why. So I don't know what's going in this young girl's life. I just know this whole story is just ultra, ultra, ultra weird. And it's perked my curiosity. So I've decided to go out there and see what kind of information. Yeah, delusional's good. Yep, I agree with that. But again, when you have children, why would you raise your child to 26 years old just for this to be it? I can't wrap my head around it. Anyways, so we'll open this up before we get to Bryan Kohberger. We're going to open up the phone lines a little bit here. Let me get them open. Google Voice. We do have a new number. Oops, let me get over to the settings part of it. So then you guys can't see anybody's number if I accidentally show the screen. No big deal. So let me present screen, Google Voice. Here we have it. Okay. Let me go over here to the banners. Let me get the new number. Here's the new number. If you guys would like to call in, please do. Let me take this down. There we go. So now it is, pull this out so I can answer the phone. So I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on Morgan Daub and her family? I don't want to we have to be careful because we don't need to make this an 18 plus. So be careful. We're going to refer to this as unaliving. This is Betty.
Betty. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Who is this and where are you calling from?
This is Diana from Michigan.
Nice. So
hi.
We got to be very cautious on the words we use. So we're going to use unalive or S to refer to what happened.
Okay.
But I'm just curious. What do you think? This is a weird case for me.
Actually this morning I've been up all night because I work afternoons. This is the first time that I've heard anything of it. And I just saw the clip of the young lady. I'm not sure. Was she 26?
Yeah, she was 26, but apparently this was an S-pack between her and her parents.
Whoa.
Yeah. It
okay.
was so it was law enforcement said that they found communication that this was an agreement between her parents and her, but she was the one that actually did the deed for the parents and then did the deed for herself.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I don't know. It sounds, this is pretty deep for being pretty early. The only thing I can think of is after the Cold War, all the satellites went down and we were all scrambled, and maybe these young people are coming out of some kind of a weird, I don't know. I mean, yeah, bad parenting maybe.
Yeah, but she seemed, but she also indicated, I look for those subtle messages that kind of help indicate, maybe a reason or a motive behind it. And
right.
She said something about they're not getting their basic human needs or human rights met or something to that effect. And I'm thinking, are they having financial, she wasn't clear on it. It's all, vague. Just like
she was just angry. She just sounds angry.
Yeah.
Very angry. And her parents are unalived then.
Mm-hmm.
Also. Wow, I don't know, honey, but I'm going to listen up on this. But real quick, can I just say something about the Spirit airline?
Yeah.
I had the same problems the last 3 times I went on Spirit. The last time I went on Spirit, I was in Detroit, and I was flying out to Denver, and it just happened to be the night of the Super Bowl. Well, the attendants in Detroit did everything they could. They held me up for 2 hours. Well, I didn't actually have a flight. They were on the phone with the third party, and they were telling them off. And I figured they wanted to keep that seat open because a lot of their guys probably wanted to fly down. You know how it is when you're a stewardess. You can, if there's a standby, you can put somebody on to fly down to Denver. But finally, I screamed enough. They let me on. But yeah, never, ever again. On the flight on the way home, the stewardess was yelling and screaming at us. And I'm like, that's it. I'm not doing this again. But yeah, I agree about Spirit. It's not worth it. It's not worth the money. And yeah, it was a nightmare.
It's just not worth the aggravation. I mean, it's just aggravating. And now that they can't, you know, I've never had a flight canceled on me in my life. And the last did it end. It's like you canceled a flight. You cost me major dollars. And you had a duty to me. And what did you do? You refunded me the portion of that's not good enough.
And just the service. You know, I am so tired of people have not got service etiquette. You know, I go into a store and I find myself saying thank you to them. You know, after a while, it's like, I'm not giving you my money anymore to be treated like shit. Right. You know, I'm done. But yeah, listen, Betty, it was nice to finally talk to you. And it was nice to be up in the morning and hear some normal conversation,
you
know, before the middle of the night. So I'm going to let you go, and you have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
God bless. Bye-bye. Oh, that was sweet. Yeah, there's a crazy night crew out there. I just turned the phones back on. I try to kill the phones when people call in, so we're not hearing that ring. This is Betty.
Hey, Betty, it's Mab.
Hey, Mab. What do you think about my new crazy case?
It's very interesting.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It sparks my curiosity so much so that I just want to learn more, and it's hard to get a feel of what really happened sitting here. And many of you guys know when I'm curious, I want to know.
You gotta get boots on the ground over there and talk to friends and family.
Yes.
Because something's going on there. The parents.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I can understand, like, friends, you know, we've heard about it amongst friends. We've heard about it amongst siblings. But parents and child? It just...
It's familicide.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, we're covering these weird cases now, and now it's coming from both sides. We've got, you know, parents harming children, children harming parents. Now we got pacts going on. It's like, just when I don't...
The whole country, it's the political party that starts with an L that's trying to destroy the country.
Yeah, well, we got, I can tell you, it looks like here lately, we have a lot of disturbed young 20-somethings.
Yeah, they've been indoctrinated in college. I mean, my daughter's 29 or 30, and she's just now coming out of the college craziness.
I'm thankful that my little sister, she survived a university myself. I'm kind of really thankful for that, because I always concerned anymore. You know, I never understood, you know, when we heard that everybody can go to school, that anybody will get, you know, student loans and I never thought that this was the stepping stone for this, you know, what they're doing throughout the country. I got to be careful what I say, but
yeah,
you know, but what they're doing throughout the country. And I was very nervous. Like, I went to a private college, but and my sister went to the State College of Florida, and then my older sister. And so it's like my youngest sister was the only one that went to a university, so to speak. And
I had my daughter in private Christian school till she went to college. College ruined her in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, but hopefully...
Sorry, I can't talk that well.
That's okay. But hopefully, all that stuff leading up to the university will start coming through. In that university, they're requiring them to change the way that they think in their minds and stuff like that. And even at some times, I've had students reach out to me because they wanted me to do stories about, if they don't change, their grades are affected. Their teachers will grade them differently than other people as well, which is
Right.
not fair. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I think we're all aware that there's stuff now going on in the schools. We realize there's stuff going on in our elementaries and all of our schools. And I think parents are taking a proactive approach, at least here in Manatee County. I know they are.
We got a couple of cases here in California that are weird.
Mm-hmm.
Got the Monterey Park mass shooting.
Yeah. But they're
And
young 20-somethings that are doing this. And I just, what?
And then we got, the Half Moon Bay guy killed 7 people and injured 1, and he was a 67-year-old Asian guy.
Oh, yeah. And then we had the guy from the Mandalay. Remember that? They were having a concert down below, and they could never really find, I've never heard his motive. It was like this guy was a well-to-do guy, and something just snapped in him. Something.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about, I'm starting a channel.
Oh, are you? Good.
I got to wait 14 days to change the name because I kind of messed up the name because I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not up on this yet.
Yeah, I know YouTube
Since
is.
I've had the surgery,
You can get yourself in trouble on YouTube accidentally, like you don't even mean to, and you're in trouble.
I can't do anything to me. I'm retired. I got property and stuff. They can go to hell.
Mm-hmm. There you go. So how are you recovering? Are you recovering well, or is he still in a lot of pain?
I'm still in a lot of discomfort. It's not actually pain, but it's like when you sleep on your arm and it buzzes when you wake up.
Yeah.
My chin and my lower lip and are buzzing like that constantly, and my teeth don't really feel like they're mine yet.
Gotcha.
And my wife said every month your nerves can regenerate 1 millimeter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm like, great. This could take 6 months or more.
Well, at least it's not going to be 6 years. Always look at the positive.
But I'm going to be in Florida on May 27th to June 4th, I think, in Key West.
Oh, nice. Nice. Well, let me know when you're there. Maybe I'll swing out. I love Key West.
Sweet. We can have lunch.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Sweet. All right.
All right,
dear. Other callers in.
All right. Have a great day.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about Turtle Island.
Well, hopefully, I haven't watched it. Hopefully, they didn't beat me up too bad.
It was bad.
Was it?
Dolly was sticking up for you the whole time.
Oh, well, that's sweet. He's a good friend.
And I was like, what the hell is going on with these people?
Well, first of all, I
guess it's the voice.
Yeah, I threw Lee out of my chat, which she should never even have been here in the first place. And they're mad because I disagreed with Dolly. Like, oh well.
Wasn't that on the kids when you're taking care of kids? We were on the same panel.
Yeah, it was
And if you got a kid in your care, you are responsible for that kid no matter what. I don't care if it's related to you or not.
Right, I agree.
And Rebel's on board too. Everybody's on board except Dolly. They're not relatives. If you got a baby, and you are responsible, son.
Yep.
You can't just say, "Oh, wasn't related to me, so I left." Come on, man.
Right. And not only that, but Dolly, of all people, knows. I mean, he's seen a baby walking down the road and stopped until law enforcement got there.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad. But, you know, him and we're not going to, I don't parrot Dolly. I will never parrot Dolly. And Dolly doesn't parrot me. We agree on a lot. That's for sure. But there are some things that we disagree on. And, you know.
I think you guys make a good team. He's the softy, you're the hardy.
Yeah, he's scared of his own shadow sometimes.
He's a little
but he's fun. I can tell you when we're out on cases, you know, he keeps me out, he keeps me entertained.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah.
He's like a comedian.
He is all the time.
And he plays in a band?
He used to play in a band.
Okay.
He used to be really well known for his band. I didn't know him when he was in the band. I've never even heard any songs that he's played while he was in the band. I know that it was punk rock or something similar to that.
Do you know what instrument he played?
Do
you know the instrument he played?
He was the lead singer. He didn't play an instrument.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Just screaming or actually singing?
Probably a little bit of both. I don't know. I've never watched him.
I'll have to research that.
Yeah.
Got me interested.
Yeah.
All right, let's another callers get in bed.
All right, Mav. Well, feel better. I hope you're healing well, and we're going to keep praying.
You can look me up.
Recovery.
You can look me up on Facebook under Andy Boys.
Okay, will do.
All right, man.
All right, take care. God bless.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Aw. Well, we want to make sure Mab gets a speedy recovery. He's in a lot of discomfort, so we definitely pray that he gets a little more comfort, and hopefully each and every day that passes, it'll be a little comfort. This is Betty.
Hello, Andra.
Well, hello, Amy. How are you? I should call you Ruby today, but now that I know you're Amy, I'm going to say Amy.
Okay. Excuse me, girl, my head is pounding.
Oh, boy. What's going on?
I have chronic headaches, chronic tension headaches, and I've actually been battling one for over a week now, and it'll go away for a half a second, and then it just comes right back.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hate that. The only thing that works on mine is Excedrin migraine whenever I get one, but I very rarely get them.
Yeah, and you know, you can't go, you know, and get like a stiff pain shot or anything like that anymore, because they won't, you know, hospitals won't unless you go in there with your leg cut off,
right?
You know,
and even that's a toss of a dime.
For nothing. Oh, no. Okay, I made that comment about Tila Tequila.
Mm-hmm.
And if any of y'all remember Tila Tequila, she was a reality star. And once she kind of got ran out of Hollywood, she first started with all the Illuminati talk.
Mm-hmm.
Then she went to Flat Earth talk. Then she ended up going back to Texas to her family, and things just got weirder and weirder. And she talks the way that this girl is sort of talking. Like she thinks she's the bride of Jesus Christ, and she goes through all these weird, different, almost like multiple personalities.
Oh, wow.
And like now she is like, she's online wearing all these wigs and fancy clothes and making videos of herself. But it sort of sounds like this
me and
girl
Marissa. It sounds like me and Marissa all day long.
But it sounds like this girl is sort of going through kind of like these different things that Tila Tequila talks about.
Mm-hmm.
And she, because like I said, she talks about being, you know, the bride of Jesus Christ and all kinds of stuff. And I'm thinking this is some sort of cult-like life. Tila, before she ever made it to Hollywood and all that, her family came from a religious cult. Her family escaped a religious cult.
What do you think is going on with this Morgan Daub? I mean, what is your? I mean,
well, that's what I'm saying. This Morgan Daub sounds just like Tila Tequila.
Okay.
And you know, she's talking about being next in line to be queen and denouncing the throne and all kinds of weird stuff. And that's what I'm saying. She's sounding a lot like Tila Tequila.
I can tell you, she sounds pretty odd and off to me.
And weird
for sure.
Yeah. It was so weird when this came through my feed from Molly's page yesterday. It stopped me dead in my tracks because I saw the house and I was like, that's Angie's old house. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And so I stopped and started looking and reading. And I mean, that house is identical to my friend Angie's house. Wow. When we were growing up. Because we used to sneak out of that front window that's on the ground level.
I got some stories.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. It is identical.
Wow.
It stopped me dead in my tracks. I'm like, that's Angie's old house. Did something happen in my hometown? And then I saw it was in Pennsylvania, and I'm like, are you sure this is in Pennsylvania, Molly? You know? Mm-hmm. And it was weird. But someone was asking about, you know, why they think that she's Amish. Morgan does have that Amish look to her.
Yeah.
She does look Amish. I watched that show, that reality show, Leaving Amish, that years ago. And she looks like that. But it sounds like whatever's going on with that family is some sort of cultish, in my opinion.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's definitely an odd duck in my opinion. I don't quite, I don't understand what is going on with her behind the scenes, but I can tell you with the parents being involved, it just doesn't seem like she had a really good support system. I mean, I just don't get it.
Well, when you are not off in the head, so to speak, then it is hard.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hold on. I just dropped you by accident. Hold on a second. Don't hold on. I gotta do this kind of weirdly because I don't want to dox your number. So give me just a second. I'll have to add you to the stream. There we go. I think I did it. All right. Yes, you're good.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally dropped her.
Oh.
All right.
But yeah, this and this you were talking about 20-somethings, and we were talking about this on a live I did the other day about, you know, mental illness and the 27 Club and all that stuff. If you know anything about the 27 Club.
I know.
Because I was discussing with someone about mental illness, and they were saying it hit them in their 30s, and I said, well, it hit me in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, you know, what has happened with like these high profile celebrities that or in the quote 27 club.
Yeah, but
when
you
they
know
go
what?
through, when you go through all this weird stuff in your life for mental illness.
That kind of brings me to, kind of dovetailing quite, segueing quite well into Bryan Kohberger's case with, we were talking about in your 20s, and we see this, this kid, we unknowingly, but now that we're looking back on him, we're realizing that he had some major significant changes in his life and in his behavior. And it makes you wonder, is he suffering from mental illness as well? I mean, anybody that does something like this, we naturally think they have to have something wrong with them. But sometimes people are just pure evil without having any mental problems whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. With Bryan, I would love for them to find evidence that he is from the incel community, that he is a quote incel, because he fits the profile to a T. This crime fits the profile of incel and what's referred to as Chad and Stacy's and Becky's and that kind of thing in the incel community.
Yeah. Just Samantha, she makes a statement here, and she's like, "Look at the world; it's really crazy times. It is. The days are getting crazier and crazier, in my opinion."
Oh yeah, definitely. It's yeah, it's nuts, and people are just out here like the beast has come alive in everyone. They say we all have the inner beast in us, and I think that it's coming to life. I just really feel like the devil is hard at work.
Yeah.
To take over.
Well, just
every day,
just Samantha
following these cases and stuff.
Yeah, just Samantha just said that she doesn't think incel is possible because incels don't go on Tinder dates, and he was trying to get a date through Tinder, at least at some point.
Yeah, well, and that girl that he went on a Tinder date with, she would be considered a Becky.
And what's a Becky?
A Becky is a less hotter girl. One that would
it's a butterface.
Would color. Huh?
It's a butterface. She looks good, butterface.
Yeah, she's Becky is one that don't wear a whole lot of makeup, wears a messy bun, less hotter than a Stacy. I don't know about what just Samantha is saying, but I mean, there's somebody out there for everybody, in my opinion. And yeah, he was trying to get dates and stuff, but I mean, that's the only date we've even heard of.
I know. I still we were searching through his past, and trying to find, and all we could find was this one friend that, basically said that he wanted nothing to do with him because he just changed. He lost all this weight and just got nasty and mean. And, the only other girl that I knew of him hanging out with was the interviewee's sister. And that was it, other than this Tinder date. I don't think he really is. There was a girl that was really heavier set that said she hung out with him when he was younger, and they basically understood each other. She thought he was really nice. She wanted to say good things about him and stuff like that. And I was looking at her and the way she was talking, and it looked like she actually had a thing for him, and that's why she was being so nice, about him. But apparently they had a decent friendship.
Yeah. There is a girl, I can't remember her name, I just found it yesterday, who is apparently now in love with Bryan. and writing letters and stuff to him.
Yes, I've heard about the love letters, and people are just like, seriously.
And this girl, I was reading some of her posts yesterday from her Facebook, and it's disturbing. It really is. It's
maybe she
like,
has mental illness. Maybe people need to. I mean, I don't get it. We know that there are women out there that write these people as pen pals behind bars, and they get relationships with them. These fictitious relationships with them that blossom into real relationships where they're going down to the jail to marry this guy that they're never going to see in their life. It's just weird to me. People are weird to me at times.
Well, I mean, this girl, she is talking about Bryan being her soulmate, her twin flame, and all this kind of stuff, and the synchronicities between them. And yeah, which I've studied about that kind of stuff, but
soulmate, what is she trying to say?
Yeah.
Trying to say that,
like, she found her soulmate.
That's just insanity to me. Absolutely.
That's the way she's talking. The synchronicities and his birthday and this date and that date and this color and that color, and yeah, she's talking about it on her Facebook. She's got long Facebook posts, and they're pretty weird.
We're using weird a lot here this morning. We don't use the word weird very often here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, and I think the sentiments of today's story is really identified and described as weird.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I consider myself a weirdo, because of some of my
I don't consider myself
hobbies and interests.
I consider myself
hobbies and interests and stuff. It just doesn't, my interest and hobbies and things that I like and stuff just don't mesh well with your average everyday 52-year-old woman. My old friends are all going through midlife crisis and drinking wine and champagne and stuff and trying to all act bougie, and I'm over here, watching reruns of Unsolved Mysteries and air crash investigation and stuff. That's why I made a comment earlier. I've seen every episode of Air Crash Investigation, and I will not get on a plane that I already know something ain't working. I'm getting right back off. The air conditioner's not working. Nope, I'm off.
Yep. So, well, how do you feel about Bullhorn Betty being kicked off Turtle Island?
You got kicked off Turtle Island?
I got kicked off. I heard from Mab that they weren't nice to Betty. They weren't nice to Betty either. They were mean.
Well, now you had that coffee. I mean, you had that turtle gang stirred up bad.
Yeah.
That is weird to me. That
for whatever reason,
it is like
some of them believe
you can just say something and watch the crowd go wild.
Yeah, it was. I didn't watch it, nor am I going to, because I don't want to hear who's been beaten up on Bullhorn Betty. But you know what? I lasted a really long time with me being as controversial as I am on YouTube. I think I did an amazing job on Turtle Island. Everybody, by a show of hands, like, think about it. I was expecting to be kicked off before White Rabbit, before Molly, before Justice for All, before Crazy Daisy. Like, I was expecting to be kicked off long before any of them. By a show of ones, who is proud of Bullhorn Betty for lasting as long as she did in that shark-infested waters around Turtle Island? Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 2 if you think I should have done better.
Well, I'm proud of you myself. I mean,
tried to save you. I thought I did pretty good. I came into the top. I didn't think I was going to last long, because people just, for whatever reason, it's easy to pick on me because I'm so, as JSJ, justice for all is fun. That makes sense. He's nice. Everybody likes nice, sweet people. Okay. I'm just not that warm and fuzzy person. And I'm never going to be. I like who I am. I'm comfortable in my own skin. And I know where I came from and who I am. And if something goes against it, I'm going to say so. I have a mouth. I have a brain. I am a female. We use both of them quite regularly.
Well, who's it down to now?
I don't know. I didn't watch. I didn't want to watch. Now I'm scared to watch.
I actually hadn't even watched Dolly in a while. I was watching him when I had to go to the doctor the other day. I was sitting in a restaurant eating, and I was watching. He was on during the afternoon, which is kind of strange, but so I was watching him, and but I didn't know he had started up Turtle Island again.
Yeah, he did. He's trying to finish off the last few bits because I think when he does season 2, it's going to be a little different. So here we got The Lab, J is for Justice, Upchurch, and Mallory is all that's left. So I came in the top 5. I thought I did pretty damn good because I mean, at the end of the day, I'm controversial and I don't have a problem telling somebody to go F themselves. And people are offended by that because it's coming from a woman. If I was a dude, I'd be cool.
Well, Mallory sure ain't either.
I know.
She's not afraid to tell somebody if they're saying.
She's funny, not feisty. Well, she's feisty too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And did you say Justin's still up there or Jay for Justice?
There's 4 people. Hold on. Somebody just put the names. Oh, here it is. Freckles put, here, I'll put it up. So the people on, it's House of Williams, Justice for All, The Lab, and Upchurch. I'm surprised the Lab's just.
I don't watch The Lab personally.
Nobody really watches The Lab, which is that we know that really watch us. So that's a little odd for me. They should have probably. But either way, I came in the top 5. I thought I did pretty good. I held my own for a while. Yeah. And I still have to give credit to White Rabbit because, in all fairness, early on in the game, she saved Bullhorn Betty more times than not.
Oh yeah. See, I got in on it late, watching Turtle Island and everything. I got in on all that late, pretty late in the game. So as far as watching it. Do what?
I said I had fun. I mean, when we were doing it, I had fun. Like I said, there were so many times that I came like this close to being booted. This close. But anyways, Amy, you have a wonderful day and God bless you. I'm gonna kick the phones off.
Okay, yeah, I think we're supposed to be getting some bad weather in here. And I've got to go get injections today, so I'm hoping it don't come in. I'm hoping it waits till I go and get back home.
Yeah, no, it's going to wait
because I don't want to have to cancel my appointment.
It's going to wait until you step out of the car, and then the floodgates are going to open.
Yeah, and then I'll be stuck, and I'll have to rent a hotel room because I'm not driving in it. And yeah, you win. As far as the ice and snow driving, because and I live in Arkansas and I've lived in it and lived in having to drive in it and lived without electricity from ice storms and stuff. But after the last time that we had a bad snowstorm and I drove in it and I had to drive 10 mile an hour, what would normally be a 30-mile drive, I drove 10 mile an hour. I think it took me like 2 hours to get home. And I just, and the road, I live way out in sticks on the lake, and this road is very long and it's very hilly and curvy.
I'm looking for a place out in the sticks on the lake. Actually, I pulled the trigger and got myself a realtor in a different state to just check out the lay of the land. I don't know. I'm kind of entertaining maybe moving out of Florida.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of, I'm looking around and I've loved this place. I've lived here my whole life, but as I'm growing and as I am, getting out in the world a lot more, I'm traveling a lot more. I see that there is, there's a whole entire world out there that I've never explored or experienced. And it makes me wonder,
Well, me neither.
Is there a place that would make me happier?
Yeah, if I had the choice, if I could move and live anywhere in the world I wanted to live, it would be the Maldives.
Where's that?
The Maldives?
Yeah.
It's over in off the coast of Australia and right below oh God. It's in the Indian Ocean.
Wow. I can honestly say that my mother.
Like between the.
Go ahead.
You know all those islands off the coast of like Africa and that area?
Yeah.
Do you know where Diego Garcia is?
No. I don't know any.
Diego Garcia.
Tell me something in the United States, I'll tell you where it's at. Outside of the United States,
oh,
I don't know. I know where Mexico is, and I know where Canada is.
Yeah. Well, the Maldives are though all those little islands over in the Indian Ocean and stuff. Madagascar's over there. It's all off the coast of Africa, and I've seen photos of it, and it looks like what I picture heaven will look like, or my idea of heaven.
Yeah. I can tell you if I moved out of this country, like I might be able to get 1 or 2 states away, but if I go too far, my mom will drag me back by my toenails. So,
yeah.
Mama,
yeah, that's why I have to.
Close, but a little distance. So, I do have family. My entire family's here in the state of Florida. It's just, I don't know. It's just something I'm entertaining. It's nothing I've committed to yet, but I have committed to at least getting boxes and decluttering the house. So once the roof is put on,
girl, I need to do some spring cleaning myself. I got so much junk around here I need to get rid of because in the wintertime you kind of get stuck. Living in a camper or an RV, you get stuck because of the weather, and I am tripping over stuff.
Yeah.
So
when I talked to the realtor last night, though, this is the kicker. I told her that no matter where I move, I got to have internet. I have to have. I told her, I said the internet.
Oh yeah. I did finally get internet out here.
Yeah, and it can't be.
I did finally get internet out here.
It's got to be high speed internet. It can't be dial up internet. It can't be satellite internet. It's got to be either fiber optic or cable internet. It's the fastest.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what I finally was able to get out here is the fiber optic. So
I like it. I personally like the fiber optic. I just ran the Fios into the house. And that might actually, because I've got a year contract with them, so I might actually have to pay for that contract out unless I move service, move to a different location that has it. But I might have to pay that contract out if I move within a year. So, but I got to think that it's going to take me, taking down the fence, cleaning up the yard, getting the new roof, painting the house, decluttering. I mean, you're looking at 6 to 7 months anyways.
Yeah. Well, when I first, bought my RV and sold my house and everything and was traveling around and all that, I didn't even have, I had a TV, but and a DVD player, but all I did was watch movies. But after COVID and then had to, park it and sort of, settle down somewhere. That's when I decided I sure would like to have TV and be able to watch other stuff, and then I started doing my podcast, and well, it sure would be nice to have better internet
Right.
and all that. So and I've been in the place where I'm at now for 3 years. It's private property. It's 7 acres of private property that we found to move to after COVID hit. And I've been here ever since. I didn't intend on staying here.
Right.
But I'm still on the lake, which is the most important thing.
Right. There you go. There you
So,
go. All right, well, honey. Well, I'm gonna have to let you run. We've been on the phone for about 30 minutes, and I want to get somebody else on here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'll talk to you later.
All
and
right. Feel better. Get those headaches.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just hoping I don't have to cancel my doctor's appointment this afternoon for injections.
Yeah. Well, God bless you.
Hope this bad weather will stay away. All right. Talk to you later.
Right, bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
There we go. So I'm going to keep the phones off for a little bit because we're kind of on a Morgan Daub, no, not this time. Oh, okay. I told my neighbor I thought I left one of my vapes over there, so I must have dropped it somewhere between there and here. Who knows? I didn't find it when I got back here. I might have laid it down somewhere. We'll find it. Anyways, so just Samantha said, what would those city council, school boards, and meetings do without Bullhorn Betty? They'll probably be at peace. Just joking. I do crack the whip. I haven't been there because I've been traveling, and when I go back and I'm leaving today and tomorrow's the meeting, and I should be at my meeting, and I'm not. And I've missed all last week's meeting. Well, no, there was no last week's meetings except the school board. But I really need to get back to my community, and I'm now traveling again for another 4 days. So it's like I can't even address my own county board of commissioners until I get back from this trip. And then I got to go in there and tell them I need the freaking phone lines opened up again, because I still watch from home. I still watch when I'm on the road. I still want to be able to call in and have my voice heard and, push stuff forward. And I can't do it. I'm kind of shackled at the moment. So I was hoping to get to it tomorrow, where I could go in there and, kind of try to sway the board to make a rule for the phones. We had the phones and they were taken away. I don't know why. Probably because everybody calls in there and just complains. Like me. No, I'm just joking. But Maldives, huge spiders. Oh, that must be what it. Chris was stationed in Diego Garcia. It's beautiful. Wow, nice. I'm not a world traveler. I don't aspire to be a world traveler. I mean, there are a few places that I would like to go outside of the United States, primarily Scotland and Ireland, because that's the majority of my bloodline. I've got a lot. I'm a Heinz 57, so I have a lot of different ethnicities that create me. But my predominant ethnicity is Irish and Scottish. So I'd like to go over there and just kind of visit where I came from. I'm unclear if it's Scotland or Ireland. So I figured I might as well go to both places, right? The other place is I would love to see New Zealand. I heard that is just a spectacular country. And the Netherlands, I heard, was a spectacular country. And Australia. Those would probably be the places that I would entertain going to, because like Sydney, Australia, I heard is just, it is a wonder. It's a sight. So there are some places that I would go. Mexico and Canada, unfortunately, really aren't on my must-have list. I think that the Netherlands and New Zealand would probably be, I think New Zealand would be my top pick, and then followed by Scotland and Ireland, and then Australia, and then the Netherlands. That would kind of be how I'd rank those. But if you notice, Mexico, Canada, they're not on my list. I mean, I would go. Don't get me wrong. I heard that, Mexico is beautiful. Cozumel and all those places. It's just not, I'm just not, it's connected to the United States. So I feel like if I'm going to leave the country, I really want to leave the country. That makes sense. Hellcat, it's nice to see you, Love Bug. I haven't seen you in here in a bit. Maybe you have been. I just haven't noticed. Sorry. All the pillows and yeah. So we got a few people coming bedside. If you guys are just tuning in, the reason why we're bedside, it's not because I'm not up or I'm lazy or anything. It's just because my chair, if you guys know, I got degenerative disc disease and scoliosis in my lower back. And so sometimes sitting in that seat is not, when I get up, it hurts a lot. So I was thinking I can't even hook in my second computer. And if I can't hook in my second computer, I might as well, be comfortable, right? Or not my second computer, my second screen. And so I figured, well, I might as well be comfortable. So I thought, well, what the heck? We'll do it from the room. It's not the first time. Usually when I do it from the room, I have, bed head and I'm not awake and not freshly showered, not freshly, makeup, but I am today because again, I was going to work in the office. And when I realized I had already packed up my little thing that hooks in my second monitor, I'm like, well, I can't, the office is no use for me. Like, really? I got this nice little tray table here and I got this holder that just extends it up, and for my computer, which I got to say, this is like a really awesome piece of hardware here. I was in Georgia and I still have to run that story. I need to get that out today sometime so I can get it just done. And it's the story of Casey Johnson and, portions that washed up on Savannah. Anyways, this gal I met with, a wonderful lady, she was out there at Savannah, Georgia at night with the protest when it was getting a little cray-cray. But she's a good supporter of MGL as well as Bullhorn Betty. And so I went out there and met her and she took me out to the docks and showed me where they thought that this, part was thrown off the bridge from. And, they were talking about the current maps and stuff like that, like how it got from here to here and all this other stuff. So they identified this one specific bridge as potentially being the dump site. So anyways, she had this thing on her desk and I'm like, I really like that. I said, where did you get that? I want to order one. And she's like, I got 3 of them. Here, have it. I'm like, seriously? Like, I like you're getting me off your desk. I'm like, are you sure? She's like, it cost me $7. I got 3 of them. I'm like, wow, thanks. I love this thing. I love this stinking thing. Like I used to have boxes because you got to have it up. You got to have your, you got to have the right tilt to it, for videography purposes. Right. And otherwise you're looking from underneath instead of, right at me. And so I'm like, okay, so I take, this thing is awesome and it's stiff. So it takes a lot to lift and that's what you want. Cause you don't want something going clunk right down on you. And it even has an extension, right? It even has an extension. Oh, I'm hitting buttons now. I probably shouldn't have done that because now it's, oops. Oh shit. There went my coffee. Let me get this coffee up off this, off my bed before I start. Oh shit. Just leak coffee on my new comforter. Don't stain. Oops. Did I do that? Well, it was fun while it lasted. So anyways, getting to Bryan Kohberger, we didn't really get to it because everybody's been really interested in this new case with Morgan Daub. It is a very interesting case, a very weird case. It perks my curiosity so much so I threw down $600 to fly out to Pennsylvania to learn more. So I will be out there, but we are talking about Bryan Kohberger. That was kind of the direction of this live anyways. We kind of got off track quite a bit. So just to kind of redirect us back to the topic of conversation and why, first of all, I found this, I have a gal that does some of my thumbnails and I was going through all the thumbnails because she does a lot of hard work, but sometimes when I'm out there in the field, I don't look at my emails and I don't realize she's already created a thumbnail for me. And so I'm making a thumbnail and putting it up. So I've been trying to change them out because I like the quality of her thumbnails versus the quality of my thumbnails. She looks like she's a professional. She does this, she does a great job. So I was going through all the thumbnails, making sure I didn't miss any. And I came across this thumbnail and I thought, this is really fitting here because we have so many different things going on in this case right now that's really unrelated to the case. Think about it. His attorney is now kind of in a little hot water, at least in the public eye, with this whole conflict or potential conflict of interest by representing Xana Kernodle's mother and then dumping her as a client. Actually being, first of all, she was representing Bryan Kohberger before he was even arrested in Pennsylvania. She had already filed some motions on his behalf at the time of arrest. She was already advocating for him. We know that she went to the property on January 3rd. We have her. Remember the whole thing where everybody thought this investigator was the sister. It was confirmed that it was the sister. And then people are like, no, it's not the sister. Okay. So we all remember that. And she was, not only did she represent then, she actually in the past represented Ben Mogan and his new wife and Maddie's stepmother. But that's not really where the conflict of interest lies. It would be really with Xana Kernodle because that was a victim's mom and she was arrested after the crime. How much information was she able to obtain from Xana when she was representing her? It was also said that her office tried to seek her or get her into, a rehab program to help her. And I don't know, that's what we hear. We heard that Xana's mom didn't want to go or something like that, but we don't know. And Miss Robin is letting us know. Let me take my phone number off here because we don't need that anymore, at least right now. We will be changing that. Let me pull that off. We will be changing that because we're going to open the phone lines back up to talk about Bryan Kohberger. But for this, just this little bit. But Miss Robin was saying that she had the power of attorney for Kara Kernodle. So this is getting a little sticky. There's definitely the appearance of impropriety, whether or not the true conflict of interest exists. It's very concerning. And why is this being addressed by the public and not addressed by the attorney early on? Obviously, Kara has not waived her right to the conflict. It doesn't appear that Bryan Kohberger has waived his right to the conflict. And why is this important? It's because if a conflict of interest exists and Bryan Kohberger is tried for this crime and is convicted of this crime, that is an appealable offense. So that means he could appeal the proceedings on those grounds. And as many of you guys know, we need to limit the amount of appeals he's going to be able to file in the future should he be convicted of this terrible crime. In a situation, okay. Hold on, let me read this real quick. So there could potentially be a conflict of interest. There's no guarantee that there is a conflict of interest. And I've explained, and for those that are here, why I say that is because just because a person that is a victim's parent and the perpetrator of that crime, just because you're representing then doesn't create the conflict. It is what is obtained from that representation that creates the conflict. You need to have a wall between the cases. And she clearly can't have a wall between the cases if herself. Now, if somebody in her office was representing him, that would be a totally different story. You can create a wall between those two cases. But in this particular scenario, she was the attorney for Kara Kernodle. What information did she derive by being the attorney for Kara Kernodle? Oh, I got still some stuff dripping here. Hold on, guys. Let me get this. I don't want it ruining my new comforter. I just got this thing. So let me get this all cleaned up real quick. I didn't mean to. I was trying to show you guys my neat little thing, and I ended up spilling coffee all over my table, which is now leaking onto my comforter. So much for doing my live from the office this morning. So it really does. So it's like there's a lot of things going on here where I'm trying to figure out what is going to be the ultimate factor in determining whether Ann Taylor can proceed on this case. There's 13 other highly qualified attorneys that can take Ann Taylor's place in this matter. And I really think that they should be entertaining that because, again, at the end of the day, it's not that I dislike Ann Taylor. I'm sure she's a fabulous defense attorney. But I want to make sure when Bryan Kohberger is convicted of this crime, that he doesn't have something like that to appeal on. And that really is scary for me, that an attorney representing him could potentially give him an appeal later down the road. And part of the reason why we do what we do in law, even the legal system is designed the way it is designed is so that it limits the ability that everything is fair. What is an appeal? An appeal is saying that something wasn't done right or fair, right? I mean, that's the simplest way we can explain what an appeal is. Something was done wrong, and it was done wrong, and it was done wrong to the detriment of that defendant. And we want to, or the prosecutor. So it could go either way. Like if he's not convicted, the prosecutor can appeal some and challenge some procedures and stuff in that court as well. It's not just to the defense. Both sides have that ability to appeal a ruling of any type. So but we want to minimize that, because why are we doing all of this work to get this to conclusion if mistakes are being made, knowing mistakes are being made? This is something that I feel Ann Taylor should have addressed to the court the minute she knew she had to send a letter for, change of counsel, substitution of counsel, and things of that nature. The minute she had to do that, she should have been notifying her client, both of her clients, because Kara was still her client, as well as the judge and prosecutor. And, it just doesn't seem like this was done. Now, people are saying, well, it looks like Kara's living out of her car. How was she going to get noticed that Ann Taylor is no longer representing her on her case? My answer is very simple. News Nation could get a hold of her. How could her own attorney not? News Nation had no problem bringing Kara up on their screen. They were able to get her fairly quickly. So if News Nation is able to make contact with Kara Kernodle, why can't her own attorney do it? Was it too hard to pick up the phone in a law office? If that's the case, they need to be fired. Get new state, public defenders, get new staff. If it's above you to pick up a phone at a law office, whether it's the public defender's office, a private practice, or the state attorney's office, you need to be fired. You need to be fired. Double jeopardy, that's the inappropriate word, be. Double jeopardy is when you're tried for the same case twice. And there is actually a way around that as well, double jeopardy, because the state can charge you with a crime and you not be found guilty, and then the federal government charge you with the exact same crime and you're found guilty in with the federal government. You can have two exact same criminal charges, one on a state level and one on a federal level. So, but in the states, no. Once you have gone to court, for example, he's going to court here. He's already in the process of this. If the state can't realizes they can't move forward with the case and they drop the charges, they cannot go back later and fix their case and then recharge this person. That's when double jeopardy would exist in that case, in that matter. It's not like a civil case. Civil cases are much different. You get several bites at the apple. All you have to do is refile. If it's dismissed or thrown out of the courts, as long as it's not thrown out of the courts with prejudice, you can refile that same claim several times. Good morning, Facebook user. I don't know who you are, but good morning. It's nice to see you here. Warren, buddy, would you please write Judge Boyce and ask for cameras in the April 3rd Daybell trial? Thank you so much. It's not that. You actually have to file a motion for their rule. It's a media thing. You have to actually file the motion into the court record. It's a little more than that. And since they're already into this, I have to look at the orders because they may have already addressed this. They may have addressed it early on and said no cameras. So I'll have to look at the orders from the court first and foremost and make sure that it wasn't already ruled on. And if it was already ruled on, me filing an additional motion probably would not help. But I can certainly look into it. Jean, if you want to send me an email at bullhornbetty@gmail.com, I'll have something that I can put in in the notes, so I can I can calendar it so I don't forget it. I probably won't get to that at least until I return here back at the office at the beginning of February, because I am leaving today. What time is it? I'm still doing good on time. Betty, did cops check to see if any DoorDash food there? Is it true that within minutes Bryan came in the apartment? Timing is important. Yes, according to the affidavit provided by Brett Payne, he tested under oath, and this was the probable cause affidavit to arrest Bryan Kohberger. It did state that Xana Kernodle did receive a DoorDash delivery at 9:12 or 4:12 in the morning on November 13th. A lot of people speculated, well, what if Bryan ordered it and delivered it? Apparently, that I wouldn't think that was the case, because even in that same affidavit, they stated that they have already spoken with the DoorDash delivery guy. Oh, excuse me. So if the DoorDash delivery guy handed that package off to Bryan Kohberger, that's an eyewitness that Bryan Kohberger was at the house, and therefore that would have been in that probable cause affidavit. But it wasn't. It was identified as Xana Kernodle's order. Xana Kernodle got the order at 4:12. So I have to believe Xana Kernodle ordered it, and Xana Kernodle was the one at the door to pick it up. But yes, that was at 4:12. Now, I don't know if it was at that time because remember that they all died between 4 and 4:25 in the morning. But we know that that's not even true. We know that they were all dead by 4:20 because they see his car speeding away and at a high rate of speed from that area. So it appears that 6 to 9 minutes is all it took inside that house. And I wonder, remember, there was some odd, weird things about at least Xana and Ethan's killing, because she went to the door and she went to the room, and somebody heard somebody say there's somebody in the house. And I wonder if it's because she went to the door. Maybe it really was Xana instead of Kaylee. And she went to the door. Let's walk this through. She went to the door. She picked up her food, and she realized somebody was in the house. Or maybe she turned around, walking to her room, and saw him going up the stairs. And he knew that she saw him. So when he got done doing up there, he came down there and took care of that problem. What if she was in the process of getting into the room as he's coming behind her? I mean, the freaky stuff, right? But that really is kind of how it feels. Can you imagine, having a seemingly normal night, going to a door wee hours of morning to get your munchies, right? Because you were out drinking, and you turn around and there's this huge, because he's tall, masked man there with something this long in his hand. The terror, that instant terror. And we know that Xana was the last to, at least for the purposes of this, I don't know if Xana was the last to die or if it was Ethan, because, that order, remember I told you we could get a clue from the indictment, the actual complaint, the criminal complaint that listed the charges. The first person there was Maddie Mogan. Then it went Kaylee Gonzalez. Then it went Xana Kernodle. And then the last person was Ethan Chapin as for the first degree murder counts. And it makes you wonder, is that the order in which they expired, which they met their demise? Because I believe that there is something to the order of how they were listed on that criminal complaint. And I'm interested in finding out whether that was we've always wanted to know who died first, second, third, and fourth. Maybe that criminal complaint does provide us clues in the way they died. And because at the end of the day, the last person on there is Ethan Chapin. So I'm interested in oh, baby Yoda, the trucker. Nice to see you. Haven't seen you in here in a while. Hello. But it could very well be the order in which they died. I don't know. But I do believe that there is a reason for them being listed like that. And I pointed that out because I draft legal documents. I've drafted legal documents for many years. And we always put, there's always an order to how we write those documents. And seeing that criminal complaint and seeing Maddie first and Ethan last, and then the count numbers, because the first one was the burglary, and then Maddie's second, then Kaylee's third, then Xana's fourth, and then Ethan's fifth. So there was 5 counts on that criminal complaint. So sorry. I wasn't meaning to do that. I'm trying to listen to text message. Why are you smiling to your own comment? My neighbor's cray cray. So I'm going to open the phone lines up. And what do you think the strategy or the move forward is going to be for this particular case? What do you think Bryan Kohberger or Ann Taylor's next move? Well, I went outside and lo and behold, I knew it. Ha ha, I knew it. Ha ha, I knew it. I knew it was there because by the time I got home, I didn't have it. I had to use a new one. I need something for my vapes. If anybody has vapes, I use these ones here, the fused, and I also have one. I also have one that is the Juul. I have the batteries for the Juul, but they are so much smaller than this, and I lose those. I went through, I don't know, almost $200 in these little batteries because I keep losing them. And as you see, I lost another one and had to use this one and put a new cod in it, and my neighbor just found it. So. Neighbor is so good to me. He really is. He's a great neighbor. He's the only person that I trust with the key outside of my mom, of course, but my mom lives much further away. And when I'm gone, he takes in my mail and everything like that. So I wasn't expecting to leave. Many of you guys know I was planning on being here all week and running the Alex Murdaugh case. But again, when I called Marissa, there's the neighbor. Let me be right back. You guys sit tight just for a second. I got to get let me watch my coffee cup before I make another mess in this bed. Hold on, I'll be right back. We got the vape. The vape has been returned. Usually I never get the vape returned ever. Like I lose them and I never see them again. And I'll go back and look and look and look. But I knew I had these things I dropped. So I need to have something that's magnetic or something that I can stick it to. So, right? So I quit losing them. It drives me nuts. I go through a small fortune. But so far I've been able to keep 3 of them. So far, but these were all replaced in the last month, just to let you know, because I've already lost all the ones that I've had before, and I changed the colors. Like I even went with a red one. I'm like, how can you lose a red one? I lose red ones a lot easier than I lose the black ones, and at least my neighbor's eyes are good because I would have never found it. I don't know why. I just would never have found it. This kind of sucks. I'm gonna have to wash my comforter. Anyways, getting back to topics. So, with all these things going on, what do you think the next move is? I know people kind of, if they can prove the majority, not all, just the majority of the stuff in that probable cause affidavit, I think Bryan Kohberger will be toast. I really do. I think he would be toast. And I wanted to show you guys. A lot of people have not seen this yet. And I don't know. You guys know that we had like a photo shoot at around Christmas time. We had a photo shoot and some other stuff. I'm not going to get too far into it because I don't want Marissa clubbing me over the head when I in Pennsylvania. But I did want to show you guys this. She did some treatment on it and got me a background. Let me go to the entire screen. No, I don't want to do the entire screen. I just want the window. There we go. There it is. Look at this. Didn't he come out good? Look at that. Who knew? Who knew? That's the headshot. We had Scorpio. She came down. She did my makeup. She did a fabulous job. She definitely made me look beautiful. I need to get with her to find out what makeup she used on me because I absolutely love that makeup. But there it is. There's the headshot. Not bad. Not bad for this old gal. I'm getting older and older. You wouldn't know that was me with this bedhead, right? I did brush my hair this morning. I did brush my teeth and I did put makeup on, but I don't do makeup professionally, as you can imagine. So Scorpio does. I was really pleased with the way the photo came out. And actually that photo, believe it or not, was they took the background out. Like I had this blue photo behind me and they were able to remove the entire background and that's what was left over. But I love that blue. Like my blue eyes pop in this photo, but they exploded with that little hint of blue in that photo behind me. Yeah, it was really pretty. I was pretty impressed. It isn't it too early to be arguing about Bryan? Who's arguing about Bryan? Tell me something. I don't know Bryan because is there somebody in here stirring up stuff? Oh, well, I'll let my mods deal with it if there are. For those that are coming in that are new to this channel, I'm Bullhorn Betty. We cover a lot of topics. Some of the topics are, passionate type of topics. So, the only rule here is you're allowed to have your perspective. We love different perspectives. We love opposing viewpoints. It makes for great debate. But one thing that you can't do is be rude to anybody in the chat. You can't be rude to me, and you can't be rude to other creators on this channel. It's very simple rules. We're all adults here. So as long as you can be an adult and handle the conversation, you're more than welcome to be here. I can tell you, if you don't know me, and you're rude to me on here, you will probably be packed up crying by the time I'm done with you. So choose your words wisely. And I say that with all love and all respect, but I'm a no nonsense type of person. So I have no problem. Probably the reason why I got kicked off Turtle Island last night, because people, I can be pretty brash, right? I can be pretty brash. And especially, and I don't bring a whole lot of my personal, I talk about myself. I talk about my life, on here. And I talk about what I choose to talk about, but I don't like attacking other people, even people that I don't really care about. When I talk about the haters, I talk about them in general. I talk about them collectively. I never single, occasionally I'll single a few out, but never by name. And I do that intentionally because I don't want them getting a plug on my channel. They plug me all day long. I should return the favor, but since I've been paying their bills for the last year, I figured that's its own reward in and of itself. So, oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. Yeah, he won't be blocked. He's just being, he won't be blocked. He's being respectful to this point. Okay. All right, good. I'll let the mods deal with it. That's what they do. They know my threshold. My threshold is basically their threshold, right? So if something's offensive to them, so much so that they remove a comment or time somebody out, it's probably warranted. They don't have any reason to pick on anybody. We like to have the conversation. We like to have the communication, and we like to have the friendly debates. We don't need anything heated. Nothing here it rises to the level of heating. And occasionally I get excited about stuff, but that's part of my personality. It's part of the channel. When I get frustrated, I bring those emotions out because I know that people in the channel are frustrated and have emotions about stuff. So instead of you guys going through all that, I do that and I take the heat for it. So that's what I do. I am a proud non-Turtle Island survivor. Right? But I gotta Brian is that's all y'all. Okay, well, he's a lot of people. Listen, we don't like people that parrot our opinion. I mean, think about it. If I can disagree with Dolly or have a differing opinion than Dolly does, clearly so can everybody else. We're all wonderfully and perfectly unique. We are wonderfully and perfectly flawed. That's it. And thank God we don't all have the same brain, right? Because that would kind of suck. That would kind of suck. So, we just have to realize we're all human and we don't think the same. And thank God, there's right brain people and left brain people. I believe I'm a right brain person, but I might be a left brain person. But either way, however you throw it, there's got to be personalities. Yeah, I heard. I actually wrote him. This, but I said to him, so everybody knows. I said, thanks for sticking up for me last night. I do appreciate it. I gave him 3 red hearts. Okay, I thanked him. For his services. I'm sure he had to feel that. And not only that, but he's my friend. So, the people that were there attacking me, I'm sure they probably hurt his feelings too. So, even in the future, when you guys are playing these games, no matter who it is, you guys should just be a little kinder. We have enough hate in this world. Trust me. We watch it every single day. We watch evil and hate. And if you don't like me, that's fine. But really, to be nasty about it? Like, I would love for you to be in my position where your whole entire life is thrown in front of everybody's face and let them pick every little thing apart, from your looks down to your toes. And I would love to see how these people that were so nasty to me last night would handle this lifestyle. It is difficult, to say the least. But, thank God they have at least a veil of anonymity, because I'm sure if we got a hold of them and their background and their life, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be able to handle what they put me through. And that is the truth about YouTube. It's so easy to be a keyboard Nazi, but look at how strong I am. I listen to that and still stand up here with a smile on my face, and that's nothing they can ever take away from me. Nothing. They don't get into my head. They don't get into my heart, and they don't get into my soul. But it's just sad that's they literally, like, you can say I just want her off, but to be nasty, I think they need to look more at themselves than worrying about me. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yes, I was watching last night. Those people irate me. Well, to each their own. But trust me, karma's this invisible thing that nobody sees. So when that tire goes flat, when you get that run in the pantyhose, when you trip or bite on something and you break that tooth, remember, Bullhorn Betty sent that your way. You're welcome. The karma maker. Instead of the rainmaker. That's where he comes from. Yes. But we have fun with it. And that's okay, because, we're not a drama channel. We don't engage in all that, And Dolly tips his toes in there every now and again, and then he pulls it back out and he gets back onto, work and getting the message out there. So, we'll just have to wait for his rotation to come. We all do it. Are people still wearing pantyhose? I don't know. I've got a few pair in there, and I'm sure every single one of them has a run in them. The only reason why I hate pantyhose is because I do a lot of open-toe shoes. My mom used to wear open-toe shoes with pantyhose. And I'm sorry, Mom. I know you're watching. I hated that look. I hated it. So I have, thank you, Donna. Thank you. We have fun. I mean, what do you do? What do you do? You know, what do you do? You have to roll with it. So they're not our cup of tea, right? Maybe that's what they're so butthurt about. They can't hang with the big dogs. Oh, Lord. But that's okay. I've been beaten up on for the last year. You know, at this point, what else can they do? Oh, I don't like her. She's so mean. Well, clearly you got it in you too, babe. You know, those that throw the first stone, right? We pray for them. We pray for them. We pray for them. So I'm going to open up the phone lines just real quick. We'll dive maybe another half hour. What time is it? Okay, I'm still doing good on time, but I do have to actually, I've already got my bag packed. I'm already, the only thing I got left to pack is this computer, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. I'm like ready to go. For those that are just tuning in and saying, where are you going? Well, Marissa called me last night. She's got this new case that's very intriguing to me, and it doesn't make sense. It's the Morgan Daub story. And I don't want to go too much into details because this is a touchy subject. I've already been hit with you got to be an adult to watch the video I put out. And the video was just reading an article and showing a video that had literally no cuss words in it. But hey, whatever. I don't get it, but apparently YouTube, I guess words are now censored. I don't get it. But anyways, you have to click that you're 18 years old to go in there. There is a child side of YouTube. Nothing I ever say, well, some of the cuss words I say here and there probably aren't for the young ears, but for the most part, the stuff we discuss here is not wildly graphic in any nature. You know, there are some things like for the Alex Murdaugh trial that I thought that for sure were going to take me out. It passed with flying colors. And I'm thinking, they can say that kind of stuff on there. What? Whatever. But it is 18 and up. So it's not a porno, guys. So if you get that notification, don't think, what is in here? There's nothing graphic in there at all. I think it's because it was a SPAC. I think that's what it was. It's not advocating for SPACs. It's not advocating for, the unalive. It's not advocating for any of that. It was just having a discussion about what happened. And apparently news is not news anymore. You can't bring news to YouTube. So they made a lot of changes. Hopefully they adjust those changes a little bit. I mean, they're just being entirely too strict. They're restricting the creators and everybody from the gaming community all the way to the true crime community are feeling the squeeze. It's like, YouTube isn't rich enough, so let's squeeze the creators that are putting the money in our pocket, and let's squeeze the last little bit of pennies out of their pocket for our benefit. That's what they're doing. They set up this platform. They got everybody so used to this platform, and now they're trying to do some, in my opinion, underhanded stuff that's to the detriment of the people that help build the platform for them. I hope you're not looking and being a sister wife while you're out there. No. But you never know. I might be on house swap, with my fictitious husband and things like that. I think I'd make a great housewife swap, and I think my fictitious husband would make a great house husband swap, So I don't know. You never know. I might be famous one day. Who knows? I might be known around the world one day. Who knows? So I'm opening up the phones back up. Let me put the number. Let me put the number back up. There we go. Call-in number right there. Call into the show. Let me know what you think about Bryan Kohberger, about this mess that his attorney seems to have gotten herself in. Again, my only focus is I just don't want an appeal coming from this. So whatever they can do to close that worry box for me, and not just me. I mean, our audience, the people that are watching, the court of public opinion that, they try to act like doesn't exist. I'm just curious. Oh, hold on a second. I forgot to put this up. So give me just a second. I got to share the screen. I got to try not to dox your number all at the same time. So give me just a second. This is going to be a little tricky. Hold on a second. Add to screen. There we go. Okay. Did it.
All right, you got it?
I'm getting good with my fingers so it doesn't pop up. Who is this? Where are you calling from?
This is Courtney. I'm calling from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, nice. So what do you think about Bryan Kohberger? What do you think about this Ann Taylor mess? It just seems really convoluted and troublesome.
It really does. I think if they don't get him another attorney, it's going to cause a whole lot of issues. It's going to open the door for a lot of appeals. It's going to be very messy. If they don't like it shouldn't be an issue that she's the only one in that area. Like it shouldn't be an issue how far they have to go to get him an attorney.
Yeah.
Because,
and they still have the rights.
Or
people on
pay for him
on the public defender's list that they can pull from as well.
That's right. And then they also have independent attorneys too. I know they do here in Knoxville, Tennessee, because if there is a conflict of interest with any kind of attorney, they will assign you a private attorney for free.
Mm-hmm.
We
have one.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, we have one powerful. Well, we did. He's since deceased, but his name was Mark Lipinski, and he was on that public defender's list. He didn't need to be. I think he did it for public service, for public service
absolutely,
and things like that. But I remember thinking, whoever gets him, what a lucky SOB. Like you're getting a guy that he is a lion in that courtroom. Like.
Right. You're getting a good defense.
Yes.
But I think, honestly, I think that our justice system is flawed in that way, period. Because if you don't have money and you go in there, you're not gonna leave without at least probation or something, Like literally, okay, so I'm in Knoxville and Sevierville, Tennessee is literally just a hop, skip, and a jump right up the road. Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, I'm sure you've heard of those. They're tourist spots. But the Sevierville courthouse literally has a plaque on it that says, "Come on vacation, leave on probation." I'm not even joking with you. Like it is, they're not playing.
That was my whole 20s was like that. I'll be honest.
Look, I did the same thing whenever I was in my 20s. Like that was just my wilding out stage. But I had a child whenever I was 15, and so I never got to really be a kid. So whenever I hit my 20s, I was like, "Hey, you want to keep my kid?"
Yeah.
It was horrible. I was a horrible mom to my 16-year-old. I tell him that all the time. I'm sorry. Like I was a kid myself, but we're good now, and I've got 2 toddlers, and I'm a totally different mom now. It's weird. Like it's like I'm a new mom. I don't know. But
yeah.
Anyway,
people say,
I think that they need to get him an
kids,
attorney.
and I passed the whole child thing, so I didn't have. I had the grandkids, but I got to tell you, like I don't do the crying. Even with my young grandchildren that come to me crying, I'm like, honey, you got to stop crying so you can talk to Nana.
Exactly. Back it up. I can't understand you.
I don't do the crying and then screaming. I'm like, what is going on? She took my toy. I'm thinking, that's the worst thing that happens to you today. You're doing pretty stinking good. Go find another toy.
Exactly. I had boys, and they're my 4-year-old just turned 5, and so now they're 3 and 5, but he'll be 4 in March. But anyway, then they'll be 4 and 5. But they fight constantly. They come to me crying. I'm like, no, stop. Like, go in there and figure it out. Like, you guys have got to share, or there's like tons of other toys. Like, what are you doing?
And it's so funny.
But
I can tell a person that doesn't have any siblings and one that does have siblings. The ones that don't have siblings are usually more calm in the public, but they have possession issues. Like when I was growing up, you had no possessions, you had no clothes. If my sister wanted to come and raid my closet, my parents would be like, "So."
Yep. Sorry. That's what I do with my kids. My kids will be like, "That's my shirt." No, like he can wear it. Sorry, that's what we're doing today. He's wearing your shirt. Sorry. It's crazy. But the attorney situation, they've got to get it changed ASAP. It's going to do nothing but cause problems. It's already stirring up issues in the public and the media. And it seems like that this public defender actually truly wanted this case.
This is a landmark case. Any attorney would want to, and that's what people don't understand. It's not about the money for her. It really isn't. You don't get
the notoriety
for representing this case. What it is the recognition. This would be her way out of that public defender's office and into her own private practice.
That's it. Or moving into the district, moving up into it.
And
I mean, really, that's what this is for her. But here's where my thing is, because the other things could be kind of dismissed or whatnot, but she has power of attorney over Xana's mother.
That's
power of attorney.
And that's a step that not too many public defenders take. I have never, ever once filed the power of attorney over to my attorney. I mean, that's when that's
which lets they had a relationship, like a closer relationship than a normal attorney-client thing, because she's probably represented her mother has had, that long line of drug history and whatnot. So she's probably represented her on numerous cases. So they probably have a lot more of a connection than everybody thinks. And that's why Xana's mother is so hurt and upset by this.
Well, it could also be the power of attorney is if she was truly trying to get into a rehab, she would have had to have signed power of attorney for like if she's getting any kind of social security disability. I mean, people don't realize that
absolutely
a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction is a disability, and people can be compensated for that from our federal government, believe it or not. And so there might be other issues like financial stuff that she would have to manage with her being out or being in.
I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And that's just with the power of attorney. It just makes it way too muddy.
Yeah.
Like I would just no.
The power of attorney kind of sinks that in. Like you're not only representing, like you have the legal authority to
you're her voice
decisions on this woman's behalf.
Absolutely.
That is crazy. It might be limited. It might be a limited power of attorney, which I assume it may be. But like the only power of attorney I have is if I'm incapacitated. It was in my father's name. I can't remember if I've done another power of attorney, but if I did, I probably need to do, I've got the template here. I probably need to do a final power of attorney because I don't want my father making decisions for me. I did this power of attorney when I was 18 years old. So if anything happened to me, my dad would be able to make the decisions for me at that time. But right now, I don't have any, children or anything. So
you can have a living will. So.
Yeah. So pretty much if I die, everything's going to my little sister. My older sister doesn't need it. So.
Right. So, you can have a living will for that.
Yeah.
That way that's taken care of and, eliminate the power of attorney. Because now also another thing, I think, I don't know if it was a power of attorney. I think it was like a limited power of attorney. My husband and I had got audited one time through the IRS, and we did TurboTax, and we always pay for the extra, whatever is what we were paying for. And when we got audited, we contacted them. We had to sign, I want to say, like a limited power of attorney to them so that they could take care of the dealings with the IRS for us.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can see that, but I don't know. It's
Yeah,
messy.
there's some convoluted stuff going on that needs to be worked out, and the judge does have to. If this lady is not going to recuse herself, the judge needs to rule on this matter whether she can move forward. But I think it needs. I don't think the public will be comfortable until it comes from the judge, because honestly, in a case like this where this guy came seemingly out of nowhere. Now, granted, they have an awesome affidavit that paints a horrible picture for him. And if they can prove even 85% of that affidavit, Bryan Kohberger is toast. But
absolutely,
at the end of the day, we have, as the public, have to have confidence in our justice system. And when we hear these types of things, like this attorney that's representing the assailant that killed a lady's daughter, and this same attorney has her power of attorney, it makes us uncomfortable in the public as to the fairness of this trial on both sides of the aisle for the victims' families as well as the perpetrator.
Absolutely. Because Xana's mother too, the power of attorney is what gets it for me. It really is, because obviously she was in jail or something. She was trying to get herself to where she was going to be able to do something for, I believe, the whole situation that she talked to her attorney about, which is now Bryan Kohberger's attorney, is, look, I have got to get, because at the time I think she had warrants. I've got to get these warrants off of me. I've got to be able to be a free woman and be out in public to be able to take care of my daughter. We don't know what she told her. We don't know what the cops told her about her daughter. We don't know what kind of inside information this attorney has.
Exactly. And that's the most concerning, is what inside information, like, for example, if the cops were talking to Kara about what happened, and she talked to her attorney about some of the things she was going through and some of the things that happened. Did Ann Taylor get some inside knowledge that she would not have had by representing Kara?
Otherwise, exactly. That's what makes it just so. It's just so not. I mean, honestly, I don't understand how it's gone on this long. I don't understand how it was even allowed to happen.
This is what really just burns my grits. When she was called, because Ann Taylor was at the court hearing, and I remember watching it online, where the judge is saying, we're going to name Ann Taylor as your public defender. It was ordered in the court. Ann Taylor knew at that time she was representing Kara. She should have stood up and let that judge know, I'm also representing a victim's mother in another matter.
Absolutely.
And she
should have spoken up. Yes, because she did it on purpose. And that right there just shows you her character. So if any of these parents, because I understand, I guess she represented the stepmother of Kaylee as well, I think. So, I mean, if
Maddie's real father
was it Maddie?
Mother.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's like she's represented multiple people. At that time when that judge said that, she should have said, Your Honor, there's a conflict of interest in this. I'm already representing blah, blah, blah.
Or saying, hey, there may be a potential for conflict of interest that we're going to have to resolve at some point. She should have been vocal about that.
Get a hearing.
Having to hunt it down and expose it to the world. She should have been of great character and moral turpitude to let the judge know immediately. She knew that when she was sitting there. She knew.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. She knew before she ever even went into that courthouse that he was going to assign her.
Yeah.
Don't think that they don't know that,
Oh,
they know. And with it being such a small area.
There's a rotation. She knew she was up next on the list. She was in that courtroom when those proceedings were going on. I don't know if she had already previously spoke to the judge about that, but I don't know if she could have ex parte communications in a situation like this. But I just feel like something's got to be signed. Something has to be in the file. If she's going to proceed as as his attorney, I think Kara needs to release her, and so does Bryan. So there's no grounds for anybody.
Absolutely. There has to be some kind of legal makeup in there or whatnot, because if they don't recuse her, if they don't get her off of this case, and something isn't signed, this case will go on for years and years and years and years with possible, you know, it could come, God forbid, but I mean, it could come down to it to where he gets acquitted because of, you know, maybe information she knows, or if he gets down there and files a post conviction and comes back, and then you know about the attorney thing, he could use that in a post conviction to get out of it. I mean, you know, this man could get away with it. I mean, no, I know, like, we're supposed to presume that he's innocent and so guilty, but let's just be honest. Here in America, it's you're guilty until you prove you're innocent.
I agree.
That's just how it is. That's just how it is. You're guilty until you prove your innocence. That's why they throw you in the jail cell and they keep you there until your trial is over with. Not innocent until you prove guilty. You know, it's not. It's just not. And so the fact that, you know, I think he's guilty. I think he's guilty 100%. I think he's been watching that house from up on that hill for a very long time.
At least 12. At least 12 times. At least.
Oh, absolutely. At least that we know of. But that was just since he got that new phone. We don't know. This was some of their senior years. It was Kaylee's senior year, was it not?
Yeah, no, she had graduated. She
had already graduated. Right. She was back.
I said too, and her dad's like, nope, she was fully graduated.
Yes. And so it seems to me like she had been a target too, and he knew that somehow or another he was linked into this group. It's going to come out.
Yeah.
It's going to come out that somehow or another he was linked with them some way or another. He knew inside information about them.
Yeah.
He did. And he knew when he was watching the house all those times, he knew Ethan's truck, you know, his SUV. He knew what it looked like. He knew Ethan was there.
Yeah.
He knew that Maddie was back, or Kaylee was back in town for the night, so he probably thought that was his perfect opportunity, you know? But
all
it's
right,
so
bug.
weird to me. But I'm going to let you go. I know you got to get to a lot of people. I'm just so excited because it's the first time I've called you. So
I appreciate
chat all
that.
yeah,
I love conversations with people. I love having these conversations because it does put new perspective in a lot of people's minds. And, you know, and you might think of something I didn't think of, but, you know, like even the power of attorney. I forgot that there was even a power of attorney. I mean, it even kind of solidifies more of the conflict in my mind.
That's it. The power of attorney is what did it for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard that, like the other things, I mean, like, yeah, we can kind of work around those in a little bit, but the power of attorney solidified it for me because she gave this woman an amount of trust, an amount of, I don't even know the right words because you don't just give power of attorney to anybody. So obviously she had nobody in her family that she could trust.
Right.
She had nobody that she could sign it over to that was going to advocate for her except for her attorney. She obviously felt a bond with that lady. And for that lady to go and do that, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
It really is. It just really shows me the true nature of this prosecutor.
Yeah.
And yeah. I hope it gets taken care of. But I will let you go.
All right. God bless you. And call back again. Call back again.
I will. I definitely will. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
So, no, I didn't get to your comment just yet. I put it up so I didn't miss it because I saw that you were hoping that I'd answer it. It says, do you know why AM gets no appeals? First of all, there may be some procedural stuff, maybe some agreements that were entered into at the beginning of the trial, but I can tell you, even with those things, if something egregious happens in that court, he will be eligible for an appeal. Attorneys have broken through a lot of stuff before, and so I don't ever like hearing no appeals. You know, even when the defense attorney says, well, we're not going to appeal if we have this, and this, but you know, if they don't get the outcome that they want, then guess what? The appeals get filed. So I'm interested in that. I don't know all the details about that. It may be very true, but typically the only time you're not able to appeal something is when you enter into an agreement or a stipulation or something of that, you know, like a plea deal. When you enter into a plea deal, you get no appeals. So if he gets no appeals, it makes me wonder what kind of plea deal he entered into. But with him having the trial, it just it just doesn't make sense. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I don't know if they took the death penalty off the table for this. Maybe that might be the reasons why he has no grounds for appeal. That might have been the give and the take for that stipulation to have the death penalty put. I've heard that before, but as far as Alex Murdaugh specifically, I don't know what they did to make that case unappealable, because when you go to trial, if there's technical issues, if somebody's done something wrong, you definitely can have grounds for appeal on that. So I'm as confused as you are as to why he wouldn't be entitled to any appeals. I find that hard to believe that he wouldn't be entitled to any appeals going through a trial. Even if it's set on his face that he's not, there's always a back door into everything. I mean, it's the law, right? It's not perfect. So we've seen people get off on a lot less and technicalities and things of that nature. And so I'm sure there's a reason why it was said, and I recall it being said, and I believe it was his attorney that said it. But me knowing the law, I know that there's always a loophole somewhere that they can find a way to get an appeal, even if he's not. Maybe they already know the verdict. Dunning. Now I don't think they know the verdict because they've got jurors. They don't know how they're thinking. I would have to think that he just doesn't have a good case. I mean, some of the stuff that they're building, the foundation that they're laying in the first few days of that trial, a lot of it was just getting, authenticating evidence to get it into the court record for the jury to be able to entertain that as evidence in the trial. But the last few of the witnesses, Detective Rutledge, there was a Saccone or something like that, and a dark-haired girl that only collected the buccal swabs from the victims, and so it's, and then the last one, the shoe impression and tire impression gal that the prosecutors finished up with on Friday, and the defense is saying that they needed the weekend, because they're going to take hours, and it was already 4:30 in the afternoon, so they recessed early, and we're going to be moving forward today. Probably here in the next few minutes, they should be getting getting ready to go live. So we're going to kind of wind this live down so you guys can go and watch that. I was going to run it live today, but because of my travels, I know I'm not going to be with internet, which means that halfway through it, it's going to fall down anyways. I'm going to be watching, and I'm going to pay the extra money to watch to have internet on the plane so I can watch this trial, because I don't want to miss anything. We are talking about the Alex Murdaugh case, and we just want to make sure that that I'm not going to have to spend 8 hours to rewatch it. So I'm going to watch it on the plane, do the best I can to keep the information and keep the stuff. So either way, guys, I really do appreciate you guys coming in and attending this live. I know it's kind of, well, it's actually longer. It's almost 3 hours we've been on live. But I really did have a great conversation. We talked about the Morgan Daub case. We talked about Bryan Kohberger, and we even touched a little bit on Alex Murdaugh. Alex Murdaugh still has a lot of criminal charges for embezzlement and stuff. Yeah, you're right, Pat. He's got a lot of charges. This is not the last case. And not only that, but they're reinvestigating Gloria Satterfield. They're reinvestigating Stephen Smith. We don't know if any charges are going to come of those two cases, but they have been reopened and they are being investigated again. So there may be a litany of other charges. There may be a couple more murder charges that he might be facing as well. This guy is bad. He's the rotten apple of the family. And his family's having to sit there. And I'm telling you, the one thing that hurts my heart is that nobody is on Paul and Maggie's side of the reporters are. but nobody there to support the victims. And that is really the most tragic of this. We have a couple starred stuff back here that I starred, so I wanted to get to it. And thank you, Team Rose. I admire badass blonde babes who do hard work and expose evil in our country and doing something about it. Thank you. God bless you. I appreciate those wonderful comments. And then Lex had something. Ann Taylor knew it would become a conflict if she remained Xana's mother's attorney, and that's why she quit that case before accepting Bryan Kohberger's case. Well, that's not necessarily true, because she did not quit Xana Kernodle's case until January 5th. And we know she was out there at the property on January 3rd representing her client, Bryan Kohberger. So I still think that the timing is quite suspect in this, but that's just my personal view. I know you're very, Lex, I know you're very up on a lot of the information and stuff, but according to what I looked at, it looked like she was the attorney for both Bryan Kohberger and Kara Kernodle for at least a few days. Those few days overlapped. But again, the conflict is not just there. I mean, she's got a power of attorney for Xana's mom. And that's, a little concerning for me as well, to be honest with you. I didn't even, I heard about it, but for whatever reason, even yesterday when I was talking about it, I kept forgetting about that power of attorney. One final housekeeping item before I let you guys go, and it's related to the Harmony Montgomery case. Many of you guys know that Adam Montgomery, Harmony's father, optics are key. Yes, Miss Robin. And not only that, but there is the appearance of impropriety. And that's huge. That holds a lot of weight when you have an appearance. It doesn't mean that it actually has to exist. It only has to appear that it exists. And we do have the appearance of impropriety related to this conflict. And that's where I have trouble. But on a housekeeping item, I just wanted to clarify, because I was like, I didn't know if Kayla Montgomery was still in jail or not. And one of my supporters here, one of the gals that we know and love, reached out to me and said there was a plea agreement with Kayla Montgomery. She's out of jail. This woman is on drugs and probably one of the biggest witnesses in the Harmony Montgomery case against Adam Montgomery. And I am absolutely surprised and appalled that when they did the plea agreement, they didn't try to keep her in jail at least until the trial was over. So they knew that she was clean and they knew that she would show up. But right now, and she's got a horrible addiction and a horrible addiction to some really bad substances. And it scares me because she could literally die. And it makes me wonder, how does that affect the case with Harmony and Adam? And so I am very, I don't know how I feel about that. I thought she was still in jail, and hearing that this plea agreement where her attorney wanted her to be free is very problematic to me, because what if we know what kind of drugs they were doing. I'm not going to say it on here, but we know what kind of drugs they were doing. And that kind of drug is through the vein. And we know that a lot of people across this country are losing their life, including Adam's ex-girlfriend that he was caught with when he got arrested. Shortly after he was arrested, she was found dead. Nothing a foul play. It was all by her own doing. But what if this is the same outcome for Kayla? And that really concerns me, because she should have been in jail until at least until she testified in the matter for Adam. The reasons why, first of all, she did crimes. She should be in jail for those crimes. But secondly, she is a main witness in this case, and she's out with a drug problem, and there is the potential of her not showing up or death. And that could really do something to that case. And we want justice for baby Harmony. So I just am kind of just like, wow, I don't know what they were thinking. But again, New Hampshire isn't the brightest state in the world. There are, a few crayons short of few beers short of a six-pack, let's say that. I don't understand what's going on with New Hampshire and what they are thinking. This is a child that is no longer here. And that should supersede anybody's freedom when they have been charged with crimes. The most important thing is making sure Adam is brought to justice. And the idea that Kayla had no knowledge and no doing and no hands in this child's death is disgusting and untrue. So she should have been in jail. I'm not disagreeing with the plea deal, other than she should have had to do jail time at least until the case came to conclusion. Yes, we're talking about Harmony. That was my concluding, argument on that. We did find out Kayla is out free. We know she has a horrible drug problem, and I'm very, very concerned that she may not make it to court. And they should have had those concerns. It shouldn't be something that we're talking about on YouTube. This should have been something that the prosecutors and the defense were talking about when they were crafting that plea deal for her. So anyways, guys, I want you guys to go out and be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Good day.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.